from the land of the five rivers.
Years ago, when we came to Los Angeles, I really believed that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
We back. Man, y'all already know what time it is.
Oh, you didn't know?
50-50.
Welcome to the 50-50 Show with PharoahNFL and the Severe Raider, the realest show for Raider Nation.
The perpetuation of the greatness of the Raiders to take a professional football team and give it a distinct characteristic that's different from all others.
Make sure to clock in, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Hey, man, y'all already know what time it is, man. It's the 50-50 Show, man. We appreciate everybody coming through. Had some technical difficulties, but hey, man, just like always, we know how to push through and make it happen. If you haven't already, make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Yeah, man, hey, we back at it. Another off-season show, man. While others ain't doing a show, we are here to talk football, just talk, man. We got to keep it going. We got to keep it going, man. We see people pulling up. We appreciate the night crew pulling up. Austin Jackson says, whoa. Okay. Hey, man, it's all good, man. Everything's all right, man. All good.
Is that like is it blossom? Whoa.
Myra in the building. Appreciate you coming through. Super Omicron says, whoa. He continues the whoa. He says, severe? Will he pull up with the white hoodie and ready to cook? Is that a white hoodie? Is it the white hoodie that you
right.
I mean, it's the famous white hoodie?
It's great today. My dog, Super Omicron, shout out to him.
Yeah, appreciate him coming through.
Consistent member of the night crew. Myra, too, consistent member of the night
guy,
crew.
Matt, man, in the building, man. Couple you through. Man, so, obviously, it's, we got, a couple weeks till the Raiders pull up to training camp?
Yeah,
So,
I think the rookies report on the 17th. The rookies report on the 17th. The veterans report on the 22nd.
Oh, so next week? No.
Yeah. End of next week. Next week.
Yeah.
Next Thursday for the rookies. The next Thursday for the rookies.
So a couple weeks, technically. Yeah,
for the veterans.
A little less than a couple weeks. Yeah. Yeah, man. So we're almost there. I mean, it's technically it's not that long. It's because I feel like the older you get, the time flies by a lot faster than when you're a young fan. Like if you're a young NFL fan, like that, this time is just
forever.
Man, it's forever.
Especially no basketball and no football. It's like,
yeah, most definitely. But we're here to talk about it, man. We got a lot to talk about. Obviously, y'all see the thumbnail. TJ Watt, is he coming to the Raiders? No, he's not coming to the Raiders. But as of right now. But we're going to talk about the possible fit if he fits in with the Raiders. We'll get into that conversation. Obviously, we'll get into a few other things too as well, man. If you haven't already, make sure to click in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We are going live on both our channels. So last show, Around the Shield, we had our guys Rundown and Mike in the building, and we had a good conversation about running backs and where do you rank who and what type of season Genty would have, and that was a good conversation that we had last week. And today we're going to talk about the recent rankings by a former running back, Maurice Jones-Drew. He put out his rankings ahead of the 2025 season. So we'll talk about the ranking that he gave Genty and some of the former Raider players too, like a Josh Jacobs, where he has him at. No one cares, but it's interesting where he puts him at as well. And all the other running backs in the NFL. But most of the conversation will be about Genty. We'll get into that. And I think I don't know if you heard about this, Severe. There was a guy who put one gambler or bettor put $25,000 on the Raiders to win the Super Bowl back on April 9th. On April 9th, this guy put a $25,000 bet on the Raiders to win the Super Bowl next year. Now, the odds were 100-1 at the time. So that means that if he wins, he'll get like $2.5 million. It's a nice little payday. But if he
Nice.
doesn't, he's basically out of 25,000. Like he's not gonna get that money back for sure. But what's crazy is that the odds are now 120 to 1. So if he waited a little bit longer, he would have got a bigger return. Let's say if the Raiders do win, but obviously it's a long shot. But still, that's kind of messed up. Like they go up he could have just waited if he really wanted to make that bet. But I guess
that's what's called. Yeah,
I guess he felt like, you know what? If they have a good draft, it might go down. Maybe that was his thought process, but that was crazy, man. What do you think that whole story?
It's wild, man. Just thinking about the draft, the Raiders. Like we that froze a little bit. I'm good now.
Yeah, you good now. Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. Think about that. Like you said, on the 9th, it was 100 to 1. And then we have the draft, and now it's 120 to 1. Obviously, that's not the only factor that played into it. I think another thing that they considered that was probably played into it even more, I would say, is just the uncertainty surrounding Christian Wilkins. Like at that time, we hadn't quite yet known, like had any really solid information about him being injured and not being able to play. So I think the fact that there's the speculation, and now it's looking like a likelihood that he will miss significant time this season, possibly the entire season. I think that dropped the odds. But you would think that when you draft a generational player in the first round, that that might. But hey, you know what? What do I know? What do I know?
We'll get to that conversation about running back in just a second, man. Someone says, I put my money on the Browns Super Bowl. They have a better QB and defense than the Raiders. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm a Raider fan, but 25,000 on them in the Super Bowl, man. I guess he got money. He got money to play with, like where he could just throw away that 25,000 and not even think about it, or he has a bad gambling problem. Some people tend to lean to the latter, it's a bold ladder, whatever you want to call it. But like, you're like, you know what? I got an extra 25. Let me just put it down. If I win, I get 2.5 million. And I'm sure he's gonna tell that story till the day he dies. Like, oh yeah, that time when I put 25,000. Let's say if the Raiders do win, like that'd be a crazy story.
That would be
to tell,
a crazy
man.
come up, man. That's a crazy come up.
My guy, my 2 cents in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through. Yeah, man. That's crazy. So on April 9th is when he dropped he put the $25,000 down with 100 to 1 odds. So the payday would be 2.5 million. That was on April 9th. Mm-hmm. It's since gone up to 120 to 1, which is cold-blooded. So literally the Raiders had a draft and they looked at their draft and like, yeah, man, let's raise the odds because they're for sure not gonna win the Super Bowl. That's wild, man. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful, man.
That's hella disrespectful.
If you're a Raider fan or anything to do with the Raiders, man, that's cold, man. They're like, they looked at the draft and was like, yeah, there's no way. But the crazy thing is they had it at 100, so they were like weren't sure to put it at 120. So they were like, maybe the Raiders they do something crazy and get like
Cam Ward or something like that.
Yeah, that's wild, man. But hey, man, guy had money to play with like that, so like I guess that's what he wants to do. But we'll see what happens next year. But that would be, I think I would retire a Raider fan if the Raiders won a Super Bowl next year. I would just retire.
Yeah, that'd be. I mean, that's peak. I don't think we may never see it again. We may never see it again. If they win a Super Bowl next year, bro. I might hang out. Like, you know what? It's been a good run, y'all.
To be honest with you, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm just waiting for them because it's like, just think about it, like how hard it is to win a Super Bowl to begin with, to be one of the few. I feel like it's the NFL. It's harder to win a Super Bowl than any other sport. Maybe World Series. There's teams that like had like 100 years.
Yeah, World Series is super. World Series is super tough. It's super tough.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, because then it's like, especially because if you're a team that has a whole lot of whole lot of money, you're basically like the Yankees, like they could buy their words, like, or the Dodgers. The Dodgers got a whole lot of, they got bankroll, so they can buy their World Series if they want, which they basically went ahead and did.
But even then, though, it's like the Dodgers got like the highest payroll in Major League Baseball, but they don't have the best record right now.
Yeah, it's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee.
Yeah. So
it's
it's
not
one
a
of those
guarantee.
situations where it's
but
like you get good pitching or get a good bullpen going for the playoffs. Like a good bullpen and some good pitching that could carry you all the way through.
No, for sure. But it's like definitely a healthy advantage though. A big advantage.
Oh yeah.
Like definitely. you could pay for whatever you want. Like if you need a big time power hitter, you know what I mean, cleanup hitter, or a closer, or like you can get the best because you can pay for it. But it's not a guarantee. Yeah.
And that's how they got. Yeah, that's how they got Shohei, because they paid him a fat contract. So, you know, and a lot of other teams weren't able to compete with what they were paying. And then I think he deferred a bunch of his money too. So, like he's not even taking up, which is crazy. It's a contract he signed. It was a crazy contract. He's not even making like a whole bunch of money counted against their books. It's like a bunch of it is deferred till later.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. It's gonna be in Santa Clara, so it's gonna be in the Bay Area. The Super Bowl's gonna be in the Bay Area next year. Didn't they have it like?
That's it. Oh yeah, we were talking about going too. We were talking about going to that one. I want to say, yeah, I think it is, because it comes back to LA pretty soon too.
Oh, so okay, because I could have sworn it was in the Bay Area a couple years ago. I don't know. Maybe you know what it is? It's because when you have one of the newer stadiums,
we ain't even there. It's like when you have no chance of going, you didn't even. It's like how much is a trip to Dubai? Like I don't know how much the tickets cost. Like,
yeah, them tickets is crazy. Them Super Bowl tickets, it's like what, 10,000 a pop for nosebleeds, or just to go like this, just to look at that from the back. Like, oh, I think I seen someone catch the football. Yeah, that's 10K right there. That's 10K. But the crazy thing is, though, I feel like people who go to the Super Bowl, like the majority, I think there's going to be a good portion of like super fans. Like they love the game, they love football. But then there's going to be some where they're just there to enjoy the show, enjoy the halftime show. They're not even going to finish the game. They're just going to leave.
They're like the ambiance.
Exactly. Just to be there. I mean, they got money like that. It's crazy. But yeah, that would be wild, man. If the Raiders return to the Bay Area and win the Super Bowl, that would complete my fandom for the Raiders. I'd be like, hey, I'm good, man. Hey, I'm done. I'm not gonna. I'm done.
Bro.
I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna be done.
How much would like? I wonder how. I mean, you're a Bay Area Raider fan. Like, how would that make you feel? Because I know there's some like Bay Area Raider fans. If they like the fact that they not only left Oakland and went to Vegas, but if they came back just for like that one day to win the Super Bowl and then dip out again, like how much would that piss some fans off? I think some fans would be happy, but I think some fans would be mad.
It would be bittersweet. I wish I would have seen the Raiders win a Super Bowl as the Oakland Raiders. Yeah. But I'm not gonna be mad if they win. I'm beast. The justice. I'm good. I'm not like, and you do it in the Bay Area. Like what?
Yeah.
I mean,
that'd be crazy. I mean, but the thing is, like, ain't nobody from the Bay Area gonna be at the game. Though. It's gonna be like, it's gonna be. Ain't nobody. It's gonna be. Well, no, what? Nah. It'd be the Silicon Valley people will be there. All the rich people in Silicon Valley, they'll be there. But the 10,000 ticket, ain't nobody.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Hey. Well, depending on this is hypothetical. Depending on who they play. Remember when the Raiders played the Bucks back in 2002? they talked about how like, man, the Raider fan base, it's in San Diego. San Diego's basically like, that's an Oakland Raider city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a Raider city, you know, like it don't matter if the Chargers were there or not. Like it just, they got a good, healthy fan base of Raiders. So what I'm saying is that maybe I think the Raiders will show out. Raider fan, what?
Because the price of the
Smoke would
tickets.
have pulled up.
That's the thing, like the price.
Smoke would have pulled up. Smoke would have made it happen for sure. Me and Smoke would have made it happen.
Smoke. Bad. Like, you and Smoke operating on a different tax bracket, man. Y'all on a different tax bracket.
Hey, nah, that's you, man. That's you. You over here trying to perpetrate like you're not part of that. Man, my guy Smoke, man. Appreciate you supporting the show as always, man.
Like Smoke,
he said late night crew check in. What it do, fellas, man? Appreciate you coming. Hey, man, happy belated, man. My brother just recently had a birthday, man. Appreciate you coming through and man, enjoy your birthday, man. I know you had your birthday recently, or I think it was yesterday or something like that, man. So that's what's up, man. That would be crazy though, man, if the Raiders did win the Super Bowl in the Bay Area, man. I wouldn't feel no type of way. It would be bitter, like in that, like, damn, if it was in Oakland. Just like it was bittersweet when, or not even bittersweet, it was like bitter when the Raiders lost their last game in Oakland. That was just disgusting. Like, come on, they got to win that game. Like, leave on a good note, like, on a high note.
Yeah.
But
who beat us too?
Gardner Minshew.
But know what though? But know what? I think if we did win, I think Mark will have a parade in Vegas, but I think he do one in Oakland too. Real talk. I think he's that kind of dude. I think he'll do maybe not a whole parade, but I think he'll do something, some kind of like championship ceremony. I think he'll do in Oakland.
See, the thing is though, like the Raiders were rumored to go to Napa, or whatever the case may be. It fell through. It was for whatever reasons, but we were, even when they were in Costa Mesa last year, it was kind of touchy a little bit, just because like they were within the Chargers Rams territory, so they couldn't really do too much as far as take advantage of like the area like they would if it was any other area, like if it was outside of another team's territory.
Yeah.
So maybe that could have been a deal breaker for the Raiders, especially with the 49ers. It's their territory now. Like they left, so it's not. Napa is like 49er territory, so that could have been a possible reason.
Yeah, Napa. But I'm saying like in the town though. I'm saying like not like actually in the town, like not nowhere else. I think the NFL. I think NFL wouldn't trip on that. They probably like not a whole parade. But if they had some kind of fan event, I don't think the NFL would trip on that. I think they'd make an exception.
Yeah, but he would have to have two. And like if Mark would
I'm saying. I'm saying too.
Because it's too much of an event. Like it's too much of an opportunity. Like the whole point is to build the fan base in Las Vegas, so they would have to have it in Las Vegas. Like to
for sure.
But and it would have to be the first one. Like, you know what I mean? Like you gotta have. But it's just I'm not sure.
Of course, that goes up.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen, because what's gonna happen is politics at the end of the day. Because what are you gonna have to do to make a parade happen? You're gonna have to deal with city officials.
Yeah.
And Mark Davis, the last time, like, he dealt with the city of Oakland, it wasn't good,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't think that's
true. That is true.
But if he made the attempt, for
true.
sure, that'd be dope. That'd be dope. But I'm not really tripping like that. I mean, at the end of the day, they're in Las Vegas. Yeah, I'm saying, man. You 10 minutes away. Oh, damn, you damn near a 49er fan. Just say it, bro. Raider smoke is damn near. No, I'm playing with you. I'm just playing. My God, man, appreciate you coming through.
Salute my guy, Cheeto.
Great America will be packed that week. Oh yeah, it'd be crazy. Oh damn! Don't say that, man. Bro, I'd cut off my foot to win a Super Bowl. Don't matter where they win it at. Whew. Man, you gonna be. Hey, all I know is if I'm riding with Smoke, he gonna if he say he gonna have parking right up front. That's all I'm gonna say. He gonna have parking right up front.
Man,
if the Raiders,
for sure.
If the Raiders win a Super Bowl, man, you gonna have parking right up front.
Look, he gonna be footless, and somebody else gonna be a millionaire. That's not a good trade, bro.
That's not a good trade. That's not a good trade, man. That's not a good trade. Man, but hey, man, we appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to click in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Raiders Access, stop the cap. Just want to see Super Bowl win for Raiders. Don't care how we get it. Yeah, I mean, I didn't say that. I don't care how we get it.
Okay.
I'm not tripping.
Okay. That's good. I mean, I was taking the temperature of the room. I know some people, it's one of those like scoring things where it's like, oh, you know what?
Yeah, but I feel like people who were, because I remember I've run into people like, oh man, I ain't wearing no Raider hat, man. They left, but they weren't. If you watch the team long enough and you a fan of the team, it's gonna be too hard for you to be like it gotta happen before. Like you gotta be like, yeah, I don't mess with the Raiders because of it. The reason can't be all that going to Las Vegas. I don't know. It just feels like you weren't really a fan to begin with. I don't know. That's just
some people would say. Some people is like that. Some people is like, I've never watched the Raiders again. Like, some people held firm on that. So some people really like that.
But I just can't relate. I guess I can't relate because it's just like I'm not gonna. Yeah. If you like watching football and it's a form of entertainment, it's a sport. You like football, and the team that you watch goes to a different city. Yeah, it's gonna be disgusting. I ain't gonna lie. It's just weird, but at the same time, like, you gonna stop? You just gonna that's it? Like, you gonna just stop? Like, you're letting politics, things that you can't control, like really control your happiness. Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
Like,
you remember. I mean, you remember the reactions. You remember the reactions when it was announced and when it actually happened. Like when it was announced, people was like, "Nah, it's not happening." You don't believe it. And then it actually happened. I remember watching the reports, like from up there, them interviewing people. Like, I've been a fan for 32 years, but I'm done. like stuff like that. Like, I'm done. They live in, like, I can never root for them. It's still people, like certain people that do a podcast about the Raiders twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, that say they won't wear anything that says Las Vegas Raiders, even though the team, I don't know who this person is that said they won't wear Las Vegas Raiders stuff. I don't know, a certain, maybe a Sultan, possibly, something like that. But they said they won't wear Las Vegas gear, even though the team is in Las Vegas. Like, that says something to me.
Man. Hey, man, you know what? At the end of the day, he's talking about me. But I'll be honest with you, it just don't look right. It don't seem right. It don't look right. I tried. I bought stuff with Las Vegas Raiders on there, but I just never wear it. I don't wear it. So, a lot of the things that you see me wear, it just says Raiders or it says Oakland Raiders. I just can't do it. It doesn't gravitate. I'm not going to waste. You obviously are, you're a different fan in that, like, you kind of like where you grew up I
grew up a Los Angeles Raiders fan. So the team left me and went to Oakland.
Yeah, you grew up an LA Raider fan, but they went back to Oakland.
Exactly.
So it wasn't as ugly of a move. It was like ugly in that, like, damn, I can't drive up to the stadium and go to the game. I can't walk whatever.
Hey, look, when I was born, the team was in LA. So as far as I know, the team was in LA. I don't give a damn what happened before I entered this earth. Whatever happened back then happened back then.
I'll be honest with you, man. Oakland Raiders. All right, you know what? If you want to make this an Oakland Raider, Los Angeles Raider thing, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. Oakland Raiders is definitely where I feel like the heart and soul of the team is from, the history, everything. Well, I guess you could. They had some. They had some good teams. They had some good teams. They had some good teams.
But LA took it to the next level.
You talking about they won 2 Super Bowls with Oakland?
LA took it to the next level, though. I mean, in terms of like popularity, they took it to the next level.
Oh,
like the Raiders became ubiquitous once they came to LA. Like that's when the culture shifted, and it became like cool to be a Raider. Like at that point, it was always cool. Like before, they were like rebels and people like outcasts and misfits. But when they came to LA, it became cool. That's like, okay, damn, you a Raider, you cool. That was cool. Like it was always like, you know, like rebellious, and people that like the rebellious stuff, they always gravitated toward the Raiders. But when it got to LA, that's when it was like, okay, like now it's like, you know, everybody rocking it, Ice Cube, Boys in the Hood. Like now it's like, okay, it's on a different level now.
Yeah, I hear you. Because it's LA is a bigger market at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah, exactly.
It's connected to a lot, like the music industry, Hollywood. You know what I mean? Like literally, like Ice Cube was in a movie wearing the Raiders hat. Like you know what I'm saying? Like as well as like, music. Yeah. So NWA, all that type of stuff. So yeah, I get it 100%. So I agree with that. Statement, but. I don't know, like, man. Oakland Raiders just sound right. I don't know. Oakland Raiders it just flow off it's like, that's what it's meant to be, man. It's meant to be.
The heart and soul is always going to be Oakland. They can't take that away from me.
Like for example, like the Los Angeles Lakers. That's how Minneapolis Lakers. No, the Los Angeles that you just know it fits. It's just synonymous with that.
Fit, but no, I don't fit.
Because
how many lakes is in LA?
Yeah.
How many lakes is in LA? Ain't a goddamn lake out here.
It's a couple of ponds though.
Minneapolis is the land of lakes, right? That's why they were called the Lakers. So the fact that they came to LA and they still the Lakers, like it sound right just because it's been here so long, but it really it's like Laker, like ain't no lakes out there, bro. What are you talking about?
Right.
And just like some people, like, you know, the Brooklyn Dodgers, like technically, you know, the team, like the heart and soul
Red
team started in
Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees. Like if they went anywhere else, it would be like what? Like this, it's the same thing, bro. It's the same thing. It's just that it's happening to the Raiders. The Raiders got a worldwide fan base. We all get that, but you know it's and then the thing is when we refer to the team, we just say the Raiders. I call them the Raiders. I don't be saying the Las Vegas Raiders. I never
think that's all. I think that's all team. I mean, you don't say like nobody's like the Los Angeles. You just like the Lakers. I mean, I'm a Lakers fan. I'm a Los Angeles Lakers fan.
But if you really wanted to though, the New York Yankees, like if you really wanted to, it still would flow right. It still wouldn't be. Yeah, you know what I mean. You said the Yankees. Obviously, a lot of people just say the Yankees, but then like, but if someone really wanted to say the full name. It wouldn't feel unnatural, like, you're doing too much. Like if you said, the Oakland Raiders, it wouldn't have been, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been that bad if you think about it.
It wouldn't have been that bad. Because I mean, that's what everybody, because for forever, they were there. Forever they were there. So, you know, like it's still like, it still flows off the tongue. You've been saying it for so long too. People still be saying Oakland. Like they be announcing they call them the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, man, he's just trying to start some shit. Man, look at people in the chat like he's just trying to start something. You know, Severe trying to stir up something. Raiders, A's, man.
What did I say that's non-factual? What did I say that's non-factual? Everything I say here is fact. Like the heart and soul is in Oakland, but you know, they leveled up in Los Angeles.
From a cultural standpoint, I guess, from like a move, like from like a high profile, but they were historically speaking, like the Raiders were a good team. They're a great team. You know what I mean? Like their best years they were like the team. It was basically they were the team that was losing against the Steelers. Like it was the Steelers and Raiders back in the day. Like that was the matchup. Like everybody was waiting for that matchup to happen. Yeah, that was a team exactly. And they won most of the Super Bowls with Oakland. So from a football standpoint, on the football field, like that the foundation was their success on a football field. And then, but you're talking more off the football field. It's kind of like Las Vegas. Las Vegas is probably going to raise their profile to a certain extent, just being Las Vegas. But if they win, it's going to take it to a whole. That's what's going to take it to a whole different level. You got to win.
That's why LA was so, because not only did they come to LA, but they came to LA and they won. So you come to LA and you win. Oh, bro, it's over, right? Because I mean, they went back to it's all bad because they went to. I'm glad they didn't come to Vegas. Well, I'm not glad, but you know, it's like it's fortunate they didn't come to Vegas and just start winning, because that would have been all bad. Because like they were winning in Oakland, and then they came to LA and they still won, and then like as soon as they started to downslide, they went back to Oakland, and it's just been like it was trash until Gruden got there in 98, 99. And then they had the smooth little run, and then it was been trash ever since, and then they left. So if they left and start instantly winning in Vegas, it'd be like, oh, what the hell is going on here? Like that would have been like a slap in the face. So the fact that they've been in Vegas still trash, I mean, that's, you know, hopefully they get this stuff together soon, but at least it wasn't like no instant thing where like as soon as you leave us, like, oh, now y'all start winning. Like, I know a lot of people was like thinking that. A lot of people was thinking that. Like when they got Devontae, a lot of people was like, "Oh, now y'all want to do this."
Nah, I wasn't feeling like that, to be honest with you. Like I didn't feel that. It was, for me, it was just more of like, damn, they actually moved. But then like the reality is just politics. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna like if you get into
like
politics,
more than politics, it's money. It's much like money.
It's politics and money. It's all interconnected. Like the city want to get paid, the team wants to get paid, the team doesn't want to pay that much, the city doesn't want to pay that much. Oh, Las Vegas wants to pay that much? Okay, we going to Las Vegas. You know what I mean? It's just as simple as that. Like if you really break down, if you really think about what you're doing, you're watching football and exactly what it is, like it's entertainment at the end of the day. So if you understand it's entertainment, then they can play in Mars, they can play in Venus. Like it don't really matter. It's just if you enjoy it, then you're gonna watch it. You'd wear it if they winning. That's what Mick Webb said. I think he's talking about the Las Vegas thing. I don't know.
Some people won't.
I think for me it's more of like, it's kind of, I guess, I mean, I don't know. It'll probably take some time. I don't know. The only thing I said right now. Yeah, go ahead.
No, the only thing I couldn't, like, if it was like a lame city, if they moved to a lame city like Vegas, I could rock Vegas. Cause like Vegas is cool, and it's still like West Coast adjacent. They be trying to claim it from the West Coast, but this is West Coast adjacent. But if they moved to like San Antonio, I was not rocking no San Antonio Raiders here. I was not gonna rock nothing that says San Antonio Raiders.
You see what I'm talking about? Like, and that's the difference. Is a cool city, though.
Vegas is a cool city. Like San Antonio is like a lame. Like San Antonio. I mean, sorry if anybody watching San Antonio. Sorry, that's a lame ass city. I ain't rocking no San Antonio stuff. But Vegas is Vegas, bro. Like that's like, it's still cool. It's still hip. Like I ain't rocking San Antonio. Like Albuquerque, like Albuquerque Raiders. Like nah, come on, bro. Like get out of here. Like
the Spurs and the Raiders got same colors. What you talking about?
That'd be a nice
little, you know.
Spurs are kind of, you know.
Yeah, Spurs never been cool, but see, but it's the same logic though. You're disgusted as well. It's just surprising that you're not disgusted about Las Vegas. Like Las Vegas Raiders don't even go with the team. The Raiders don't even match. If you want to be real, they don't even match with LA. Like LA is all about like. But like when you think about LA, you think about like the Lakers and like the Stars. You think about
I think about drive-by shootings and crack cocaine.
You know what I'm saying? I guess it depends who you talk to. I guess it depends who you talk to. But
Yeah,
But
you
like
talk
when
about
you,
people that's not from LA, they think about like movie stars and stuff like that. You talk about people from LA, yeah, they talk about gangbanging.
right. But what I'm saying is that when you think of the Raiders, they're more of like a blue collar, like it's more of a, I don't know. If the Raiders feel like they come from a city where it's like more of a blue collar type of city, like it's a different type of vibe. They don't have it's not like they're not like the Lakers. The Lakers and the Raiders are like polar opposites, and they were in the same city at one point.
They're the same, but they're different because they're all about making a splash. That's what Al Davis was about. That's why he wanted the biggest, the fastest players, because he wanted. You're right. It's not about. It's not. I'm not taking what the defense gives me. I'm taking what I want. Like he wants people that could throw the deep pass. He wants long touchdowns. He wants long touchdowns. He wants that. He wants that splash. He wants the quarterback to go down hard. Like that's what he wants. It's all about that splash, and that's how the Lakers basically were. Where they're about making a splash. Now, how they went about it was different because the Lakers were all about, hey, big name guys, big name players, bringing them here, and now we got this big name and lights. And the Raiders, they did it through, identifying maybe small school guys or guys that were misfits on other team, but who were still extremely athletic or extremely tough. They still had that wow factor. It just wasn't like they didn't have the name attached to the wow factor. Yeah. And which made sense because at the time, when the Lakers, when Jerry Buss bought the Lakers, the NBA was like a struggling league. People thought it was going to go bankrupt, before the 80s. But by the end of the 80s, they thought it was going to go bankrupt. So you had to kind of generate money. Where the NFL was at that point, it was already ascending if not the number one sport in America. It was passing up boxing and baseball to be the number one sport in America. So a little bit different situations.
Yeah, man, the Raiders just fit Oakland. It makes sense, but I understand they had a history in Los Angeles. They did their thing. They won there, So if the Raiders did go back to Los Angeles, it still would have been like, damn, they're leaving Oakland, but it wouldn't have been as bad. But when they went to Las Vegas, it was just like, what?
Yeah,
Las Vegas Raiders. They don't even nothing about like. It don't even matter. Las Vegas is more of it's a flashier town. Like Las Vegas is kind of like it's basically LA on, I won't say LA on crack, but if you think about it, like a lot of stars go to Las Vegas to party and celebrate, and it's gonna. And then I think I think eventually they're gonna have an NBA team there. Obviously they're getting they're getting the A's there too as well. So you're gonna see like over the years and how that's gonna impact the team and how teams are like viewed in Las Vegas. But I think man, it is what it is, man. But man, make sure to click in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, man. So we just went on a tangent. Went on a tangent. It's like saying SF Warriors. Yeah, you know what? I don't even like the fact that the Warriors never claimed Oakland like that. To be honest with you, they never put Oakland in there. Like they called them Golden State Warriors to this day too. They called, but I think the owner wanted to call them San Francisco Warriors, but I don't know what happened. Maybe the PR team was like, nah, I don't know if we should do that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
It would be because they would it would ostracize the Oakland fans, the Oakland fan base who are not going to, they have that rivalry with everything San Francisco. So that wouldn't have gone well at all.
Exactly. LA Rams. McWebb just says LA Rams.
Yeah, I don't claim the Rams. they were here too. So
they were here too, but no one were they like they were the Clippers.
They were originally here. The Rams started here. They started in LA, and I hate the Rams.
That's sad. So the Raiders just came through and just stole away all the fan base.
Rightfully so. The Rams is a lame ass franchise.
Man. If the Raiders move again, what city would they go to? Sacramento or Modesto? Nah, they wouldn't go to none.
They ain't going nowhere.
No.
I don't think they ever moving again. That would not. It'll be a long time.
If they go to another city, they're not. I don't see them leaving Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not. They're gonna go, especially if they start winning and they build the brand. It's already the value of the Raiders already went up. You see how much some of these teams are going for. How much did? That must have been another sport. Oh, the NBA teams are selling. NBA. That's another conversation.
Lakers
NBA owners are
$10 billion.
Yeah, that's
$10 billion for the Lakers.
Yeah, and if the Raiders did, let's say, leave Las Vegas, it would probably go to a city that they're familiar with or an upgrade, a bigger market, like a market that's on the upswing. Sacramento, nah. Modesto, nah. Yeah. If they went to Modesto, it's the beginning of the end for the Raiders.
That would be terrible.
The Modesto Raiders.
I don't see them leaving Vegas. They got one of the best stadiums, and they're in an area where they're willing to like invest in entertainment. Like Las Vegas is the entertainment capital of North America. So that they're going to put money into making in the entertainment industry work there. And the Raiders are now an integral part of the entertainment industry in Las Vegas. That's why Mark Davis was smart to move there. So they're going to make sure the Raiders have what they need in terms of facilities and all that stuff to make a success.
Yeah, man, it is what it is. But let's get into the TJ Watt situations. TJ Watt is basically in a dispute with the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of the best pass rushers in the NFL, arguably the best. You can argue that he's been the best the last few years. Like, it's between him and Myles Garrett, and Trey Henderson has been pretty productive. I know we all love, Max Crosby.
Nick Bosa technically. I think Nick Bosa won Defensive Player of the year before last, right? So 2 years ago.
Yeah, but I think Nick Bosa, I'm not saying he's bad, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like I would take Max over him. Like, I can argue, you can make an argument and say I'll take Max over a Nick Bosa just because he gives you the full, like, he's a better overall player. But then when you get into the Myles Garrett, you be like, ooh, like, he's physical, like, phenom. Yeah. Like, it's just like, damn, like, he went number one overall for a reason. Like, and he shows it on the football field. Like, you could just tell, like, there's nothing, the offensive line could pretty much do with Myles Garrett. But then you got same thing with TJ Watt. TJ Watt is a monster.
Yeah.
He's been productive, like Defensive Player of the Year, and multiple times been all pro. 8 years in the league, man, productive. Like I said, teams are calling in. ESPN is reporting that teams are calling in to the Steelers to check and see if he's available. I'm sure Steelers are probably saying no, but you never know. The Raiders were saying no with Khalil Mack. They end up trading him, but the Steelers are not the Raiders. They're not going to trade their pass rusher a day before the season starts. Like, you know what I mean? Was it a day or was it the weekend before? Or the week before the season started? It was right.
No, it wasn't.
It was after the preseason. It had to be after the preseason. Let me see. Let me see. When did Khalil
Mack got traded? I think it was it was before training camp. I want to say, because I think they were scared, or maybe before preseason, like right before preseason, because they were scared that he would not show up for preseason. I thought that was what it was, and that's like the kind of artificial deadline they had. They thought that would tank his value.
Khalil Mack was traded from the Oakland Raiders to Chicago Bears on September 1st.
Oh, damn.
That's
maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what it is. So they were scared he was going to hold out during the regular season. Then I remember they were worried about a holdout tanking his value.
So that's like a week or 2 weeks before the season starts.
Yeah,
season starts like September 10th,
a few days, like you said, probably a few days or something like that.
Let me see. When is
preseason usually starts like early August, and they were probably doing 4 So yeah, it's maybe like a few days or a week before the season, because preseason starts like early August, and it's 4 weeks. So that had to be like a week or something before the season.
Let me look at this. Boom, 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 boom. Damn, man. I remember that was like right before the season. That was just like, The only other time I felt like that, where I just felt like the energy to even watch the season was down, was you could probably argue worse was Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown situation. I was like, damn, man.
Yeah.
Like, didn't even play a snap.
Not a snap. And everybody was excited about that. Because I had a homeboy that was he was a Steelers fan, and we kept talking about it. He was just like, yeah, man. He's like, look, he's like, Antonio Brown, he'll cause you a headache, but believe he about to ball out for y'all. He just kept telling me, he's like, man, he a dog, man. He just kept telling me he's a dog, and then that fool never played it down. I was like, my goodness.
See, I'm looking at the, let me see.
Wow.
I'm trying to see, when was the start of the season?
The season that year.
Okay. So, look, I'm just gonna read this real quick because it's really obvious here. So on September 1st, following Max holdout through the entire preseason. Yeah, so okay. I was right. All right, yeah, just want to make sure. The Raiders traded him. Yeah. So on September 9th, Mac made his Bears debut. So literally, yeah. So a week before the season started. Damn. A little more than a week. Whew. That was ugly.
Crazy.
That was
crazy.
Ugly.
Yeah. That was crazy.
Now going back to TJ Watt's situation, right? So he's obviously in a contract dispute. Similar situation, some might say, just because of they're negotiating the contract, they haven't agreed to it. Anything can happen. Do you think it makes sense for Raiders to inquire about a TJ Watt and see if he's available and see what it would take for him to come to the Raiders and because there's two parts to this. It's the compensation and then there's the contract.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
No, it doesn't. I think he's 31 years old. I think he's turns 32 during the season, if I'm not mistaken. But I know for sure he's 31, and he's been getting banged up recently, and he's going to be probably on a downslide of his career. So for what it's going to take to trade for him, and then the contract you're going to have to give him, I don't think it's really worth it. You got a young guy in Malcolm Kuntz, who may never be as good as TJ Watt, but I think he's going to be a very capable pass rusher. And you have opportunity to see what he can do this year, and he could potentially be a long-term piece across from Max Crosby. So I would rather just go that route than trying to push all that, because I don't think if it was a situation where I thought bringing TJ Watt would make us a contender, then okay, then you have to consider that, because anytime you have a chance to win a Super Bowl, you do what you got to do. Like the Rams, they did what they had to do to put themselves in the optimal position to win a Super Bowl. But I don't think we're that close yet. So it's just, I think it's counterproductive.
No, I hear you, and I just don't think at the end of the day, like, I don't know how it would look if the Raiders had TJ Watt getting paid over 100, probably 40 million a year. You got Christian Wilkins, who has yet to report this offseason, getting paid at least 20 to 30 million.
Yeah.
Max just got paid. So that's like, man, that's a whole lot of money on a D line. And usually, but then it's a matter of like, where do you want to allocate your resources? Like Raiders back in the day, right? I say back in the day, but like let's go back to like 2016, right? 2016, around that time. A lot of the Raiders' money back then, before Derek Carr got his contract, was tied into the offensive line. So you can argue, like, if you want to invest in the trenches. So the defensive line, checks, it goes with it's the trenches.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't invest in getting the best, arguably the best pass rusher in the NFL to pair with Max Crosby, a top 3 pass rusher. You know what I mean? And then a Christian Wilkins, he gets healthy. Obviously, you're kind of betting on that to take care of itself. I get that part, but if healthy, that would be the best defensive line in football. You could argue that's the best defensive line in football.
Yeah, but so if we're going with the timeline that we're currently going on in terms of Christian Wilkins, then we probably don't have him much of the season, if at all, this season. So that's already a sunk year. So now you're a year closer to Max Crosby being 30, and then you're well into your 30s for TJ Watt, a player who's already kind of shown signs of deteriorating and being injury prone. So that's part of the reason why that's part of the reason why he's at a contract impasse with the Steelers, because like
from a health standpoint,
older, and he's older, and I think he's been nicked up too. For like the past 2 years, I believe he's been nicked up. We can look that up, but I believe the past 2 years he's been banged up. So,
but you're saying from a health standpoint, he's deteriorating, not on a football field. His game is
not on a football field. No, yeah. For health, he's starting to get injured more and more. And of course, he's not quite the same player he was. He's still a very good player, but he's not quite the same player he was 3 years ago, or because I think that's when he won Defensive Player of the Year. 2 years ago was Nick. Last year was Miles, right? No, last year was Patrick Surtain. The year before that was Miles. Then I think the year before that was Nick. I think the year before that might have been TJ, or might have been AD. But he's removed. He's a few years removed from him winning Defensive Player of the Year. So he's not that same guy anymore. Is he still one of the better defensive players, one of the better defensive linemen in the league? Definitely. But he's a guy that's clearly going to be on the downside of his career at this point. So do I want to sink that money into that guy? Not really.
His production did go down a little bit. I mean, he had 19 sacks in 2023, but he had 11 and a half sacks last season. But deteriorating. I mean, he played 17 games last year, started 17 games, back-to-back seasons. He started all 34 games, 34 available games 34 games in 2 seasons.
What did he do the year before that?
What, 2023?
Yeah.
Or 2024. 2024 was last season. He played all 17 games.
2022.
2022 he played 10 games. But that was
I want to say there was a year. Yeah.
That was like literally the only season where he missed extended time. Every other season he played 15 games, started 15 games. In 2021, 2020, 15 games, started 15 games. And this is back when, I don't know, what was the season where they added the extra game? Maybe 2 years ago?
Years ago, yeah. I don't remember what year.
So his whole career, he's health-wise, he's been pretty solid, especially the last couple seasons too. He's played every game. The last 2 seasons.
So playing every game and being healthy is not necessarily the same. Being available and playing doesn't mean you're playing. We know Max was hobbled. Max that didn't miss a game until last year, but 2 years straight he was hurt. Yeah. NFL, I'm saying, bro. But if that's the fact, because last year he had 11 and a half sacks. So playing 17 games, you're that level of a player, you only get 11 and a half sacks. It leads me to believe he wasn't playing at 100%.
Well, Another factor that I'll add to that might make the Raiders be a team that would be calling the Steelers is Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll is 70, almost 70. What 70? He's almost 70. He's about to turn 74 when the season rolls around. 74, 75 years old.
Yeah.
You think he's waiting to rebuild his team? He's looking to win. He's trying to leave on a high note. He's trying to win. So whatever player that can help him win now is a player that he's going to take seriously. He's going to try to, make a case for the Raiders to acquire this player. And I think TJ Watt is that type of player. That's another factor, and is like the Raiders are obviously, they got a coach who's in their 70s, the oldest coach of all time. He's literally the oldest coach of all time. He's not going to be here to rebuild. Like, his mindset is like, oh, I'm here to hand it off to the next guy. Like, nah, he probably has that in mind. Like, he's not going to be there for a long period of time. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like he wants to win. He loves football. He loves the game. He wants to win, but in order for him to do that, it has to be now, not later. I don't know what happened.
That is true, but that, Spytech is also part of that decision making, a brain trust, as is Tom Brady, as is Mark Davis. And while Pete Carroll may not be of this earth for much longer, those guys are looking for sustained success. Obviously, they won a Super Bowl, but they also don't want a Super Bowl at the expense of the team losing, for several years after that Super Bowl, or putting themselves in a position where they can't, because you gotta think about it, like all that money is going to be, they're basically they would have to reset, because Christian Wilkins, Max Crosby, and TJ Watt all getting paid like that. Like, then they're going to have to start making decisions on who they want to bring back. So they're going to have to start offloading players and trying to replace those players. But now they don't really have the draft capital to replace those players with, high end rookies or premium draft picks in the draft, because they gave up that compensation to bring in a guy like TJ Watt. So if you do all of that and you get TJ Watt and you pay him all this money and then you don't win, then you kind of, you're burning the candle from both ends, because not only did you give up all of these assets and give up all this cap space, which prevented you from signing other players as well, possibly younger players that can stick around and be a part of the foundation of the team, but you also gave up the draft capital, which potentially could be younger players that are cheap and could be foundational members of the team as well. So I just think that, like I said, if this is a situation where, hey, you know what? Hey, all we need is just one more guy. If we get another impact player on defense, man, Super Bowl bound. Bro, we don't even have a number one receiver. We don't even know if we have a number 3 receiver, right? So no, only thing we know we got is Jacoby, and apparently he's gonna be playing slot. So we don't know if we have a second string running back. Like, we don't know who our starter at guard. Like, it's too many question marks on this team for us to be trying to get a guy like TJ Watt. It's like it's like when people who don't own a house or don't own any kind of assets or anything like that, they be spending money on expensive cars. Like, why, bro? Like, why? This is that don't make no sense. Like, why you spend this money on this expensive car that's going to depreciate rapidly instead of putting that money or investing it toward something that's going to, potentially grow value going forward, which is, hey, a young rookie, that value on that player is more likely to appreciate than the value on a guy like TJ Watt, who is, 31 years old, and as you said, he just missed 7 games 2 seasons ago, was probably banged up last year because, he wasn't as productive as we know a player like him should be.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I think it makes sense for the Raiders to look long term, but because the Raiders have been there, done that. They've done this before. They've gone after a veteran and paid him and try to, not rebuild. They reload, not rebuild, but reload. Eventually, you're gonna have to like build it the right way. You know what I mean? And you build it off like foundation.
Buffering since 2005.
Man. But I will say this though, that like, if you're gonna spend money, I do agree. I agree with spending money in the trenches, man.
Yeah.
Unless you're the Bengals. If you're the Bengals, trenches. No, it's all about the skill positions. Position players, man. Like, come on now.
Like they almost did it though. They almost did it like that.
But it was such an outlier. Like it hasn't like what have they done since then? To be like, if we're keeping it real, even last year, like they were pretty much healthy. Like Burrow was healthy. What happened? The defense faltered. The defense was giving up a lot of big plays. They Jamar Chase was out there. Higgins was still out there, and they still weren't getting it done. You know what I mean? They were in a tough division though. To be fair, they were in a tough division. But
they're in a very tough division, and their defense was like all time bad.
Yeah. But they're putting all that money at wide receiver, quarterback. Okay, I can understand quarterback. I can understand a number one receiver, but then paying another guy number one receiver money.
That is wild.
Is wild. That's tough because Burrow's getting paid, but it is what it is. Yeah, he's getting paid. So
is Mar and so is T. So
right.
Yeah.
Right. Marty Martman in the building. Appreciate you coming through. He says conditional 3rd round pick, 2-year extension, signing bonus. First of all, I don't think it's going to be it's too many teams, bro. It's too many teams that's going to be interested in a pass rusher. I think it's going to go up at least to the second round, at least.
At least to the second, yeah.
How old was Khalil when he got traded? How old was he?
He was still on his rookie contract, so he couldn't have been older than 26.
Yeah, and we got like what two first round picks.
2 first, yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, he had to be like 26 because that's the whole deal. I think we did pick up his 5th-year option. We picked up his 5th-year option, and he still wasn't. He still didn't show up, and that was going to be a significant raise over what he had been making, but obviously it wasn't the type of money he was looking for because obviously he was an all-pro guy. He had won Defensive Player of the Year, so he was looking for fat money. But I think the Raiders were trying to let things play out, and he wasn't trying to let things play out. So and that's how it goes.
27. He was 27.
27. Okay.
He's 27. Damn, Ryan Poles is still with the. Damn. Hey man, Ryan Poles was able to make that trade for Khalil Mack, trade away a couple of 1st-round picks. And another, I think maybe a few rounds, probably some other picks as well. Was it only 2 1st-round picks? 2 1st-round picks and a 3rd-round pick, and quarterback Kyle Orton. Oh no! A 3rd rounder and quarterback. No, that was a separate trade.
Yeah, they got a 2nd back from us, though. I want to say we got 2 first and a 3rd. They got a 2nd and Khalil, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. I'm not sure. God, damn. Oh man, that's. And Khalil, he did win Defensive Player of the Year too before that trade too. Yeah. So, and he was younger. Yeah. He got 2 1st-round picks. So
he was on the ascent.
I could see a team. Trading a 1st-round pick for him. That's like in the latter part of the 1st-round pick, like maybe from like 20 to 32. Who feel like he's a missing piece?
Can I see it?
Maybe 20, maybe 26 to 32, maybe 26 or 25 to 32.
It had to be a team that's pretty solidified. Like the Eagles, they're not doing it. Would the Chiefs do something like that? I think they would do something like that.
Yeah, the Chiefs basically is a high second round pick though. I mean, they were in the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, I think they would do something like that. I think maybe even the Bills. Because they lost. Vaughn is out. Vaughn is gone.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of. I don't know who they have on defense now. They got old boy from Houston. I forget his name. The D tackle.
Marty says Pete Carroll, first ballot Hall of Famer who brings Raiders back to glory. You don't think he's first ballot? Do you think?
Oh, he's first ballot.
You don't think
he should be first
ballot right now?
He should. Well, it depends because he's a first ballot college football Hall of Famer. Is he a first ballot pro football Hall of Famer? I would think so.
Damn, he could have had two. He could have had 2 Super Bowls too. If he just ran the motherfucking ball, man.
Yeah. Oh, if he had won that second Super Bowl, he guaranteed first ballot. I think he should still be a first ballot Hall of Famer though. He should still be, but he for sure will be for college. For the pros, I think he will be as well.
Oh yeah. No, I agree. It's like without a doubt. If he brings the Raiders, what?
Oh yeah.
That'd be crazy. But yeah, I think it's gonna take at least a second round pick. I think teams are gonna want to be in on TJ Watt because pass rushers are valued, man. It's a premium, especially a guy like TJ Watt who's literally been, top 2, arguably the best pass rusher the last few years. So
yeah,
I think the Steelers, if they want to trade TJ Watt, they're gonna be able to get some from. And that's the problem. 2-year, I'm gonna agree with you with a 2-year extension. Is this his last year on his deal?
I don't know.
We're looking into TJ Watt real quick. Let's look at his contract situation. Because I like a 2-year extension, but if this is like, if he's already like under contract for the next 3 years and we give him an extra 2 years, that'd be ugly.
Yeah. That'd be crazy.
TJ Watt. If you haven't already, make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. TJ Watt. Let's see, spot track. Let's take a look here. Let's see. He signed a 4-year, $112 million contract. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is the last year in his deal.
Okay. Yeah, that's I kind of figured.
Okay, hey, I ain't mad at a 2-year extension.
Yeah, but it's gonna have to be 2 years. He gonna want what Max getting.
I mean, hey, damn. You know it's crazy. When was? If y'all want to just rewind real quick, man. I want to rewind, man. Let's go back like a couple of off seasons ago. Wasn't there a pass rusher the Raiders signed in free agency? He's around the same age, 31, 32 years old. Gave him like a 2-3 year deal. You know what I mean? It didn't end up being a bad deal because obviously it didn't work out. But if y'all want to guess it in the chat, there's a situation where the Raiders did pay a guy in free agency. Now, to be fair, he got $17 million a season, I think, around $17 million a season. TJ Watt is gonna want to get like, would you say like 30,
damn near
35?
30? Yeah, damn near, yeah, 30s. Damn, at least. Well, it depends on where he goes. I think if he goes to somewhere where he thinks he's not even that. Scratch that. Yeah, he's gonna want 30 something. He's gonna want 30 something.
You said 30 something?
He's gonna want 30 something. Yes. I was thinking maybe if he goes to a situation where he thinks he can win it, but the Pittsburgh Steelers low key, they low key trying to push their chips to the middle of the table and win right now too. So like,
yeah. So it doesn't make sense.
He's gonna win. Yeah. So if you're looking for a winning situation, I mean, low key he in one. So I mean, he gonna want to get paid.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah. Yeah. That does make sense. I don't think the Steelers Steelers are kind of going all in right now because they're paying all these guys. They got a quarterback that's on his last legs, Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? Like, he probably might call it quits after this season. Maybe, you know, depending on what happens. But I think they're going all in. Like, they're trading for all these veteran receivers. They're doing all these things. You know what I mean? There's Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, Jalen Ramsey. You know what I mean? They're kind of like they're kind of like gambling on the fact that, like, all right, Ramsey's on the up and up, and Minka Fitzpatrick, he's kind of going the other direction. They're kind of betting on that, and they feel like he's a better player. They think Ramsey's a better player.
I think that's what it is right there. I think they feel he's a better player. I mean, there's a comment made. I think somebody made a comment last year on the Steelers defense that, like, there are 10 guys doing what they're supposed to do, and then, like, one guy is doing, like, freelancing or whatever, essentially. Something to that effect. And, like, it later came out that, the person was referring to Minka. Like, Minka be out there. Just see he be on his own time. Like, everybody else playing, you know, the Steeler defense, and Minka's playing Minka defense.
Yeah. Bosa went to the Bills. Oh,
he did go to the Bills. Yeah, Joey. Yeah, Joey. He
Bosa
did go to the Bills. I forgot about that. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Chandler Jones.
He'll be here about week 3 too. So ain't no way.
Yeah, man. We appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. But yeah, man. Hey, we just wanted to talk about it. Obviously, it's a situation to monitor. TJ Watt hasn't signed with the Steelers. Teams are calling in, according to ESPN, reaching out to Steelers to see if he's available. Nothing's really, dropped as far as breaking news on, what the Steelers are trying to do. But we wanted to see if would it be a good fit for the Raiders to pick up a TJ Watt. Obviously Severe, he made a good case. I understand where he's coming from. But then I'm going to play the other side is that, like, look, if you got all these pieces on the team that literally are trying to win now, you know what I mean? Especially a guy like Pete Carroll, depending on what his voice, how strong his voice is in the room, we don't know. They say, and Pete Carroll in years past, like, he hasn't been a guy where we heard like, oh, Pete Carroll is undermining the GM and yada yada yada. Even though in Seattle, I believe he had like final veto,
final say.
But according to like a Seattle insider, that was never an issue. He let John Schneider be the GM, and they were on the same page when it came to move. So we'll see how it shakes out for the Raiders. But
sure they're on the same page as long as they do the moves that Pete Carroll wanted.
Right. Yeah. Well, the point of the GM is to get the players that fit what the coaches want to do on offense and defense. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. Like, they're gonna have to be on the same page because you're getting players not for the team but for the coaches that coach the team as well. So
yeah,
right. Now, to continue the conversation we talked about earlier, Ashton Genty last week, hot topic. We were talking about what type of season he had to have in order for him to be a successful pick year one. We went back and forth. Now recently, Ashton Genty, he had like he ranked his top 32 running backs. And let me just
MJD.
Maurice Jones-Drew. Yeah. Maurice Jones-Drew ranked his 32 running backs, or ranked the running backs from 1 to 32 going into the NFL season. And let me pull this up. So obviously number 1, we all know, was Saquon. Number 2, the one and only, Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? Like, obviously that was an obvious one. Like you feel like he's gonna slow down, but he did. He like literally he goes to the Ravens. He just gets 1,900 yards. Like, no one really cares. No one talks about it. It's like it's nothing. Let me and then after that, a familiar face at number 4, Josh Jacobs. He had Josh Jacobs at number 4.
I think he's given number 3.
No, he's number 4. Number 3 was Gibbs. Oh yeah, I skipped Gibbs. Yeah, I just went ahead and skipped him. But yeah, Gibbs was number 3. Josh Jacobs was number 4. And then Bijan rounds out the top 5. Bijan Robinson, the Atlanta Falcons running back. I think that was a running back that, was getting compared last week to Genty. And, he's considered a top 5 back, according to Maurice Jones-Drew. Now, if we go all the way down, we pass up a lot of running backs here.
Let's go to 10. Let's go to 10 first.
Let's go to 10. Go to 10. Number 10 is Bucky Irvin. So he rounds out the top 10 running backs. At number 10, Bucky Irvin, the running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was a rookie last season, drafted in the 5th round, balling. I mean, he rushed for 1,100 yards, 207 attempts, 5.4 yards a carry. So pretty good rookie season, man, for a guy that big, at that size.
And he was in he was in the 2-back system too, so that's why the numbers don't like gaudy. He wasn't the lead. He wasn't the lead back until the end of this year. The other back kind of was.
I don't know why it's pinging. It's kind of random. It's random. I'm not even. That just something is like, I don't know what's going on, but like it's pinging off a keyword. It's weird. It's strange. So number 10 was Bucky Irvin. If we go down, to number 13, we see the first rookie on the board is Mario Hampton. Marion Hampton, running back out of North Carolina, is the first running back that gets ranked from Maurice Jones-Drew. And one of the reasons that he has him ranked that high is the fact, obviously his skill set, his talent, but more so, the one thing that he highlights is the fact that Jim Harbaugh is going to run the football. He's going to find ways to give him touches, and he feel like he's going to be productive, and he has him ranked at number 13. Surprising. Why is it surprising? Because Maurice Jones-Drew, going into the NFL draft, his number 1 running back on his running back board was Genty. It wasn't Hampton. It was Ashton Genty. And on top of that,
Hampton was in 2 or 3 or 4. I don't think. He might have been 5 or something like that. I can't remember. I can't remember his rank.
I don't think he's contradicting himself. I think he's kind of like, I got to pull that up. That might be a flag. This might be a flag. He's insulting everybody's intelligence right now. But if we go all the way down to see who the next rookie running back is, Ashton Genty at number 17. Yeah. And he starts off by saying, I can't wait to watch Genty take his first NFL snap, yada, yada, yada. It's perfectly, he's a tough tackle, should fit perfectly in an attack that wants to bully opponents under Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly. Now, he says all that. But then he highlights a comment that Carroll said last month, pretty much saying that, the offense won't rely on one running back. But I don't understand why he's going to take Pete Carroll's words off face value in the offseason, where he's not going to say exactly what the plan is or what they're going to do on offense. They're not going to like, this is the time where, team coaches, players are going to say whatever. But what really is the truth is what happens during the season. And if you really want to know the truth, just look at history. Look at what Pete Carroll coach team does with running backs. Do they have a running back by committee type of system? Not really. For the most part, they usually like to go the bell cow running back route when it comes to the running back room. But now, I would say that the wild card is Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly's the wild card. But then the third component to this is, look at the talent in the running back room. Does it give you this is going to be a running back committee? Look at the talent. Like, it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Chip Kelly knows how to, like, he'll find a way to have guys play to their strengths. Yeah. But it's still kind of like, you don't know. Because we were complaining all last season that the running back room was arguably the worst in the season. That same room comes back with Genty. So now you're going to say running back by committee and not like Mostert. Is he a guy that you want to count on and say that is going to be a guy that, he's going to be able to come in and be as productive as Genty, or, I don't know. I'm not sure. But what was your first reaction when you seen that, like, he had him number 17 in his rankings, but then before the draft, he had Genty as his number 1 running back?
I wasn't surprised that he had him as number 17 just because he hasn't played it down in the NFL yet. So even putting him that high, you putting him above some established NFL running backs. So like you're kind of betting on his talent. But what did surprise me was him having a Marion Hampton in front of him, because as I said before, like Genty was his number 1 back, and Marion Hampton, he might not have been in the top 5. If he was in his top 5, he was like at 5, I want to say. Like he was ranked fairly low on his list of backs. I'm trying to think. I can't remember who he had up there. I think he had Quinshon up there. I think he had Cam Scatterbull up there. I think he had Travion ranked in his top 5. But I don't remember Marion Hampton being in his top 5. So for him to take his number 1 running back and put him behind another guy who wasn't even ranked, I believe top 5, that goes to show you that, this league, it's not purely about talent. A lot of times it's about your situation. And, just knowing Chip Kelly, he's going to want to run a committee system. And obviously Genty will be the lead back in that system because he's the most talented back in the room by leaps and bounds. But other guys are going to get touches. And Rasheem Mostert, he's a guy that he's proven he can produce at the NFL level. Zamir White, he's not as good as he showed us at the end of the 2023 season, but he's not as bad as he was last year. So I think he's like a C level back in the NFL. He's a guy that can gain, he can rush some yards, or rush for some yards rather. And I think in the Chip Kelly system, I think he'll be much more productive than he was last year. So he's, I think, and then Sincere. I think Sincere showed some stuff down the stretch last season. If he can stay healthy, he's going to be another guy you can factor into that mix as well. So there are some guys that some people are going to steal carries from Genty, and as we've seen, you don't want to put a whole bunch of miles on a running back, especially a running back that's coming off of a college season where he historically had a whole bunch of miles put on his body, just from the sheer number of touches and carries he had at Boise. So to do that at the collegiate level and then come right into the NFL and subject him to that kind of workload, I think that would be detrimental, not only for him currently, but I think for his future prospects as a player in this league. And when you invest in a running back that highly, you hope to get as much return on investment as possible. So you want to put them in a position where you can maximize them as a player, and just coming right into the league and just pounding him into the ground immediately, that's not conducive to success for him as a player or for us as an organization.
But what happens if he's the type of player where you have to give him the ball? Like, his game is probably predicated on him getting the ball early and often. He's been a bell cow back, I want to say, for the most of his career. He did that last season, but the season prior, he probably was, you can probably say he was a running back by committee where he was sharing the responsibilities. But when you have a running back that talented and then you look at the drop off right after him, at least let it be maybe not as good as Genty, but at least let it be comparable, like talent in some way. Like, for example, like, all right, you got a Jamari Gibbs and you got the running back
David Montgomery, saying, but they're not close in terms of talent. I mean,
they're not close,
I see what you mean.
But the skill set, like complements each other. You got the guy that could run inside, more physical back, and Gibbs is kind of like the lightning to Montgomery's thunder.
Yeah.
Now you look at Mostert, who's had some success in his career. He obviously has success. He did a lot of it was with San Francisco. A little bit.
I think he led the league in touchdowns with the Dolphins.
Yeah, he didn't do too bad with the Dolphins. He had 18 touchdowns that one year. But if you think about it, it was an assistant that was in San Francisco that was running that offense. So that system kind of fit his skill set. But last season, you can see a little bit of drop off. There was a little bit of injury issues with him. Last season, he had 3.3 yards per attempt. So you can see the drop off in his temp. Like he went from like averaging 10 yards. That was with San Francisco. He was hurt with San Francisco too, I would say. But like he was averaging
hurt everywhere.
just under 5 yards a carry with the Dolphins. But then last season is when he had like a big drop off in his attempts to 3.3 yards per carry.
Yeah.
But then you look at that and you be like, all right, is that what you want as the guy that? And his role wasn't a starting running back too, by the way.
But last year I think it was because Devon Achane got hurt. I want to say. Achane was like leading.
He had 85 attempts.
So I think he was in the committee system, but I think he had to start for a while. I think he didn't start a bunch because he got hurt too. Because Devon Achane was
he started one game. He started one game. He played in 13 games. He was active in 13 games. He started one game, and he had 85 attempts throughout the entire season.
Maybe I'm thinking the year before. That was last year. Devon Achane got hurt, right? Or was it the year before? So I want to say it was a point where Devon Achane was leading the league in rushing. And then
in 2023, when he led the league in touchdowns with 18, he got off.
I'm talking about Achane. I'm talking about Devon Achane was the running back for the Dolphins, and then he was leading the league in rushing, and then he got hurt.
I think it might have been 2023 season.
It might have been 2023 season. Okay. Maybe he played all last year. He wasn't that effective then.
I could look it up. Devon Achane. Let me see.
I remember he came out the gates like he was leading the league in rushing for like after the first 4 or 5 weeks. I think he got hurt, and then like until like week 7, he was still leading the league in rushing. So like it had to be the year before because Saquon was getting off early with the Eagles, so it had to be 2023.
Yeah. So, but my point is that like I hope Mostert would be a good running back for the Raiders. Like he could come in and be productive. Yeah. My thing is like Chip Kelly is the wild card here. He's the one that's gonna be like, oh damn, like he's gonna match. You know what who we're not talking about, even though like should we be talking about him, is like a Zamir White. Can Chip Kelly unlock a Zamir White and let him do what he does best? Because we all understand like how offensive coordinator, how he can take a player that might not been playing well in another system or another team. But since he could look at that player or he could see what he brings to the table and be lights out, or he could be productive within that system. So like a Zamir White as a backup running back might be, maybe a Chip Kelly can do something there. That's why like it's a little bit of like I'm not sure what Chip Kelly's gonna do. And you're saying that he's gonna run a committees type system, but then he's
gonna run a committee.
Man,
and like I said, he's going to get the most out of Zamir White. Now, what that is, we don't know. Like I said, it's not as bad as it was last year, and it's probably not as good as it was in 2023. But he is going to get the most out of Zamir White. So he's going to get the most out of Mostert as well. So I mean, like I said, it's going to be a committee system. It's going to be a committee system. Now, obviously, Genty, you draft a guy that highly, he's that. Highly regarded as a prospect and that talented. Obviously, he's going to be, the leader in the clubhouse, and he's going to get the lion's share of the carries as good, because he was the best back coming out of this class. And he's by far the best running back room in this running back room. So like obviously he should be the point. But they're not going to just like destroy that guy year one and like have him just like they saw what happened to Cadillac, and they don't want to repeat of that. They saw what happened to Larry Johnson. They don't want to repeat of that. They saw what happened to Chip Kelly. Saw firsthand what happened to what's my guy DeMarco Murray. He saw what all those carries did to DeMarco Murray, and he was never the same again. They saw what happened to David Johnson after all that. They've seen this stuff happen time and time again. So that they don't want to. I'm sure they don't want to subject Genty to that same type of punishment.
We'll see. We'll see how it shakes out, man. I think it's going to be interesting to see how the Raiders are going to get, Genty involved in the offense. I think what's going to be key here is that, like, we might be looking at, like, him running the football, but then they might be also looking at giving him the ball in the passing game too.
Oh, definitely.
So if they're going to be able to do that, then maybe he can give you, 1,200 yards here and then 400 to 500 yards in receiving. You know what I mean? Because if you look at we don't have a number one. The Raiders don't have a number one receiver, so they're gonna have to figure out ways to get the balls to their playmakers. And a guy like Genty, who makes a living off breaking tackles, you could see, like,
get him open field.
Get him match him up with a linebacker. Get the screen game involved. Dump off. Give it to Genty. Let him make something out of nothing. You can see that happening all the time. And I would say too, outside of man, there's some people really. There's some steam. There's kind of people really talking about Dante Thornton really going to start on the outside. Like, some people believe it. I seen like an insider. Or not an insider, but like a beat reporter kind of saying, like, they wouldn't be surprised if Dante Thornton is the starting outside receiver.
At this point, I don't see why it wouldn't be. Really, to be honest with you, at this point, I don't see why it wouldn't be.
It makes sense from his game kind of fits, like, what he does well fits with what all the other players do well, like, meaning that, like, he can run with the best of them, run them deep routes, and then everybody else can run the underneath routes, like from Brock Bowers, the Jacoby Myers, Michael Mayer, and then obviously they're going to run the football. It makes sense, but then it's like, damn, like our when we did our mock drafts, where do we have Dante Thornton? He was like in the 6th round, and now he's a start. Yeah. Now it's looking like he might start on the outside. And then Jack Besh, where does he fit in? That's going to be like,
tight end.
Man, if you haven't already, make sure to clock in.
He got to be a slot.
Yeah, yes. No, for real. Slot is where he's at, but then it feels like there's a lot of people ahead of him when it comes to that spot. But make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Zeus will bring the thunder and bounce back under Chip Kelly. All right, man. We'll see. We'll see what he does, man. Last offseason, man, it was too much hype. AJ says Dante's also a willing blocker. It's just it's not even about that. I think it's the other part of his game is, what is he going to do when he faces like a physical press corner? What is he going to do? Yeah. What is he going to do like when he has to run a route outside of a deep route? A deep post, like when he has to run a dig, or when he has to, like, just the nuance of running routes in the NFL, which, to be fair, like a rookie running back, a rookie wide receiver is still learning. He's going to still have to learn that. Yeah. So that's why it's like, man, this guy didn't even get taken in the first round. He's going to start on the outside. Like, I understand he fast. I understand he got the physical, but man, the Raiders really they gambling out here. Yeah,
Denarius Moore all over again. Another speedster from Tennessee. Man,
can history repeat itself, man? Hey, if you haven't already, make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We appreciate everybody coming through. Man, it's that time, man. It's flag on the play.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
So this week we got a couple of flags on the play, man. Severe, man, if you want to take it away, what's the first flag on the play this week?
Yes, sir. So you guys know one of my favorite guys. It's like I don't can't stand this guy at all. But former Boston Celtic, former Brooklyn Net, former I think Los Angeles Clipper as well, Paul Pierce. He was asked a question about. Or a topic was brought up about who the best pure scorer of all time was. And there was some debate, and he had a very interesting choice as to who he felt was the best pure scorer of all time. Not a surprising choice, but an interesting choice.
Oh, hold on. Let me see. Let me play this real quick. My bad. Hold on 1 second. I thought I had it. Did you? Oh, this is.
You got it.
I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It's right under Jamar. Right under Jamar. It's X.
Got you. That's that's the other flag too, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Paul Pierce or Michael Jordan? I can score more ways than Michael Jordan. Paul Pierce or Allen Iverson? I can score more ways than Allen Iverson. Paul Pierce or Kevin Durant? That's a close one too. I think I got a little more post game than Kev. We got a lot of the same arsenal, but I got him. Paul Pierce or Steph Curry? Oh yeah, I can do more offensively than Steph. Paul Pierce or James Harden? My midi is better than James. My post game is better than James. Even on threes, going to the rack, Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce or T-Mac? Now that one was close. Wow. Man, T-Mac is amazing. He can post up. He can do a lot of things down screen, off the dribble. Damn. I got to the line more than him. I'll take him with. Last one. Paul Pierce or LeBron James? This is not even a conversation.
It was
Paul.
Man, but you know what I thought about that? Obviously, I think he's just trolling at that point. Like he's just trolling.
Bro. He's not trolling.
He's trolling.
He's not trolling, bro. This dude said he was a better shooter than Klay Thompson with a straight ass face. He dead serious, bro. I'm telling you. Paul Pierce is not. He's dead serious.
But you know what though? For him to be, because he's a successful NBA player. For
he
you
said
to
he was better than D Wade.
Yeah, he said he's better than D Wade. But you know what? For you to be at that level, you have to be delusional. To a point, you got to believe in yourself no matter what. Maybe you might be like, "Oh, this is crazy," but like for him, it's like this. That's what made him, I guess. Got to that level. But yeah, but it is flag on a play because, come on, man, you're not a better scorer than T-Mac. You're not a better scorer than Kevin Durant. He's trying to find reasons and edges to be like, I did this better. But the thing is though, they scored more than you. Like they can score more than you. They can impact the game on the offensive side of the on the offensive side more than you. Like, but I don't want to take nothing away from him. I mean, Pierce was nice, man. Pierce was nice, but
it was nice. His name was the truth for a reason.
Right.
He's finally glad he got a final. He's won a championship, got a finals MVP, all that stuff. But yeah, he was on that. He's on that good man with that one.
So AJ, so basically they were asking him who's a better offensive player. So they asked, he said he's better than Michael Jordan, and he's better than he said he's better than Kevin Durant. He was talking about James Harden. He's like, I have more post game than him, and he was talking about it from he was trying to find an edge in certain from a skill standpoint, but it's like, come on, bro.
Yeah, bro. I can't stand Paul Pierce, bro. I've said it several times. I can't stand. He's from Inglewood, technically. But he's from
he's born in Oakland. I think he's born in Oakland. But it's funny though. He tried to claim.
That explains a lot. That's the question. No. Does he try to claim? I hope he don't try to claim Oakland, bro. I think he grew up down here, and he went to high school in Inglewood.
I seen in a recent, because he does a podcast show with this girl. I don't know if you've seen it.
No,
it's like
I can't stand Paul Pierce, bro.
Well, he in there he had, I think he had Was it Gary Payton on the show? And I forgot who was on the show. It might have been Too Short or something like that. It was like some Bay Area.
GP is a good Oakland representative. GP is a good Oakland
representative. Gary Payton's for sure from Oakland. But Pierce is from LA. Pierce is from LA.
He's from LA, unfortunately. He's from LA, unfortunately. Right, okay.
But on the podcast, he was claiming Oakland though. He was like, "Oh man, I'm really from Oakland though." That's what he said. I'm really from Oakland. Yeah, bro. I don't even want to say what I want to say about that. That's some Paul Pierce type stuff, bro. That's all I'm gonna say about it. But yeah, definitely flag on the play. I feel like Pierce was trolling, but we have to call it like we see it, man. He's saying he's a better offense player than Michael Jordan, Kevin Durant. They didn't name Kobe, but
yeah, for sure, he know not to name Kobe. He knew not to name Kobe.
But even then, like Michael Jordan, you know what I mean? Like Michael T-Mac, he's come on, bro.
Like KD is like KD. Everybody like KD is the best.
James Harden, like even James Harden, led the league in scoring, I believe, like for a few seasons. Like he averaged what? Didn't he average like 35 a season, 36?
35, yeah. But I can see you can make an argument. James Harden, you can say, because James Harden really had no mid-range game. Everything's going to be a three, or it's going to be a step back, or getting to the free throw line or getting to the rim. Like that was James Harden game. So he really didn't have no post game. He really don't have a mid-range game. So I can see you can make an argument there. But KD has all of that stuff, and he's 6'11", so you can't block. You can't block his shot. It's crazy. Yeah. And he has a better handle than Paul Pierce. So it's like, come on, bro. Like, get out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is, man. So Paul Pierce, he's flag got the flag this week, man. Pierce got the flag on the play this week. But we're not done yet. We got one more flag on the play, man. What's the next one, man?
More flag on the play, man. So this is, I understand, you have a rivalry and you don't want to give your rival any credit. But recently Jamar Chase made some comments about his AFC rival, Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes, and they were definitely flag worthy.
Yeah, I don't know if they got beef, or is it because Joe Burrow is his quarterback. He feels like he can talk trash like that, but he basically compared. He said Mahomes is, without Travis Kelce, is Kirk Cousins without a headband.
Kirk Cousins with the headband.
with the headband. But I'm like, how? It just sounds like he's hating. He's hating. Flag on the play. Come on, man. I obviously this is a Raiders channel. We hate the Chiefs, but Mahomes is arguably the best quarterback. He's the best quarterback in the NFL. And
quarterback in the league.
You can argue, man. You can say Lamar Jackson's. He's put up like video game numbers last couple of seasons. Josh Allen's been playing well, but who's been going to Super Bowls consistently? Who's been like winning consistently in the last 5 to 10 years? It's been Patrick Mahomes his whole career. Literally, like his first year in the league, he goes to that AFC Championship game?
He's going to the AFC Championship game every year of his career.
That's crazy. That's a crazy stat.
Every year is yeah, every year is crazy. I think they lost to the Bengals in the AFC Championship game. I want to say when they lost to the Bengals, I think that was the AFC Championship game. So I think he's going every year of his career. That might be the only year he didn't go when the Bengals beat him, but I think that was the AFC Championship game.
You could make an argument that Kelce needs Mahomes, and Mahomes needs Kelce.
Oh,
you can make the argument.
Yeah.
Now the other argument you could be like, all right, well, how about Andy Reid? That's when you be like, all right,
now you make an argument.
Andy Reid is, everywhere he's gone, he's elevated the quarterback position. So like, he got an offensive system that is quarterback friendly. So you can argue, be like, man, if Mahomes went to a different team, different system to begin his career, does he have the same success? Is he the same type of quarterback? I don't know. Cause he went, I think there's a reason why he didn't go number 1 in the draft. You know what I'm saying? Because there were certain parts of his game where like he needed development. He didn't play his rookie season. Obviously, the Chiefs wanted to let him sit. And then they had, Alex Smith at the time. They let him develop. But with that being said, man, hey, flag on a play on Jamar Chase. He's definitely hating. But he's also talking that trash because he has Joe Burrow as a quarterback, and he understands that Joe Burrow is probably pretty competitive with a guy like Mahomes, and he feels like Burrow's probably the best. If you ask Chase who the best quarterback in the NFL is, you already know what his answer is going to be. It's going to be Joe Burrow. No, it's not. Yeah, it might be that possible. It's possible.
Yeah, he's LSU to LSU now, but Joe Burrow went to LSU too, so he'll say Joe Burrow.
He said damn near everyone. He said he was better than I would pick before him.
Exactly. Damn near everyone he said he was better than he would pick before him. The only person I probably, as a pure scorer, like I said, I might give him Harden. I'd probably give him AI as a pure scorer. But that's about it. Everybody else I will pick over him. But AI is a better player, and James Harden is a better player in my opinion too. But just as a pure scorer, just a scorer that can do everything. Like AI couldn't really do everything. James Harden really couldn't do everything. But what they did they were better.
Was Pierce ever a top 10 player in the NBA?
Maybe. But when he was a top 10 player, Boston was probably trash. That's when they were trash. I don't think he was ever a top 10 player. But there were some years when Boston was trash and it was only him.
Yeah.
So maybe during those years, he might have been maybe he was fringe top 10.
Yeah.
And nobody really cared about him because he was in Boston. He was Boston. Boston was bad.
Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the day, man, hey, Pierce, I just feel like he's just overly confident. He just overly confident, which is nothing wrong with that. It helped him get to where he's at. So I'm not really tripping, but it's just damn, when you hear him talk, you gotta hear him talk with a filter. You be like, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. Stop.
There's a fine line between overly confident and delusional.
Come on. Exactly.
And I think he's overstepped that line.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, that wraps up flag on a play. Flag on a play on Jamar Chase. It's pretty obvious he's hating on Mahomes, and then flag on a play on Paul Pierce. Man, come on, bro. Come on, man.
The truth out
here. And even it's so funny, like when T-Mac's name came up, he was like, I could tell like he was about to be like, oh yeah, not T-Mac, but then he had to keep it up. He had to keep it going. Like he had to be like, oh yeah, I'm better because I got to the line more. I'm like, what the hell? Like, who's a better offensive player? You got to the line more. That's why you're a better offensive player. That's the reason. Come on, bro.
I don't think he's not a better offensive player than Joe Johnson.
I don't know about that one. I gotta look. I gotta look at the numbers. I gotta look at the numbers because Pierce.
Joe Johnson. In my opinion, I take Joe Johnson over Paul Pierce as an offensive player.
Every time I think of Joe Johnson and Pierce, I always think about how he crossed him up.
Did him dirty. He crossed him so bad he fell forward. He crossed him so bad he fell forward, bro. He did him sad. And then he hit the shot. Oh, that was the most embarrassing crossover I've ever seen in my life, bro. Like he crossed because it wasn't even like no complex stuff. It was like stuff you do to your like if you got like a little brother, you dribble the ball real low, he can't get it.
Yeah. But it was so disrespectful though. Like the way he just like, bro, like you can't. Forward. What do you? He was like the way he dribbled was like you can't keep up with me, bro. Like you too old. Like you pass. Like it was just too disrespectful, man. Let's see, Joe Johnson. Let me take a look here. Let me see what Joe Johnson was doing. All right, I'm gonna look at his career average. Oh, 16 points per game per average. But let's see his high end seasons. Let's see. Joe didn't average. He never really averaged more than 20. Okay, 25 one season with Atlanta. Oh, Joe played with Phoenix. Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's where he
He
started.
played with Phoenix. Yeah. Before he went to Atlanta. Yep. He played with Steve Nash. Yep. So 25. He averaged 25. That was like the most he ever scored. Yeah, bro. I think Pierce might have got him here, bro. I think Pierce might have got him. Let me see. Can I actually compare? Let me see. Paul Pierce.
So Pierce averaged 26 3 times. Let's say 3 times.
Yeah,
he was a solid 20-point scorer. But
19.7. That's if you round it up, it's like 20 points a game for his career. Averaged more rebounds. They averaged about the same assists. Pretty much.
That's what I said. Just as a pure scorer.
Oh, just a scorer. Okay.
Just put a pure scorer.
Are you looking at efficiency? Are you looking at efficiency matter to you?
I think because Joe Johnson, he was like the third option in Phoenix until he got to Atlanta. He didn't really get to have his own team or be like the lead guy until he got to Atlanta. So that's why, like, if you look at averages, it's going to favor Paul Pierce because, like I said, he was like the third guy in Phoenix. Because as soon as he got to Atlanta, he's 20, 25, 22, 21, 21, 18, 18, 19. And then he's lucky basically at the end of his career.
I mean, he was getting all the shots. If you're getting all the shots, then you should be able to put up the numbers if you got the talent, right? So
no, he wasn't getting a whole bunch of shots and that's what I'm saying. Phoenix, he wasn't getting a whole bunch of shots. He wasn't getting a whole bunch of shots until.
Yeah, but he was playing in a high-paced system, though. They were the trailblazer. If you want to argue, you could argue that the Phoenix, not the Warriors, were the trailblazers for that type system with Mike D'Antoni, where Steve Nash was basically finding an open player every play. Hey, Joe Johnson, what? They're playing running guys. So like that system kind of, it helps you even score more points, you can argue.
Yeah, to some extent. But I said he was still the third option. He was still the third option behind Mark Stoudemire and behind Steve Nash. So he wasn't getting like all the and they had Sean Marion too, I want to say. So he wasn't getting all the shots. He, like I said, he wasn't like the primary option. He wasn't the primary option until he went to Atlanta.
Let's see here.
That's why they called Joe Johnson ISO Joe for a reason.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna take Pierce on this one. Pierce is a better scorer, man. I'm gonna take Pierce. It's just it probably wasn't as like, you can argue maybe it looked better. Like Joe Johnson probably looked better scoring. Like it was a lot better on the eyes as far as like he was more of a finesse player compared to like a Paul Pierce who was way more like, herky jerky a little bit at times, especially like later in his career. I mean, he had some athleticism early in his career, obviously, like, but just a little bit.
Paul Pierce, he was
never
a great athlete. He was like a pretty good athlete. Never great.
He kind of like, maybe you could compare him, maybe less athletic, but like kind of like Jason Tatum.
I think Jason Tatum's a better athlete than Paul Pierce.
Yeah, but Paul Pierce, I said less athletic though. But like Jason Tatum is not like, I don't look at him as athletic. I look at him more skilled than athletic.
Paul Pierce is like a Bradley Beal level athlete.
But he's bigger.
Bigger.
Yeah, he's like what, 6'8"? I think he's like 6'8".
Paul Pierce, I don't know. Joe Johnson's like 6'7", 240. Joe Johnson's big. Joe Johnson's like 6'7", 240.
6'8". Like, let's see. Damn, this don't even. Let me see. 6'7". They have him listed at 6'7", 235. This is like Basketball Reference.
Paul Pierce?
Yeah, 6'7".
Yeah. So they're about the same size then. Joe Johnson's like 6'7", 240, something like that. Maybe 6'8".
So he averaged 27 one season. Ah, come on, man. And he played with to begin his career, he played with Antoine Walker.
Antoine Walker was low-key washed up.
No,
but
the
beginning his career.
Celtics. Not with the Celtics though.
Okay, now who was Antoine? Was he with the Celtics first? He was with the Celtics first.
Antoine Walker is the players that said, they asked him like, why do you shoot so many threes? Because there's no 4-pointers.
No 4-pointer. Yeah. He wasn't even shooting a whole bunch of threes though. That's the thing. That's crazy. He wasn't even shooting a whole bunch. Compared to the league now, he wasn't shooting a whole bunch of threes. But back then, he's like, bro, he's shooting all these threes. But now he's like, all right, this dude is. You need to take more threes, Antoine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did play. But like I said though, Joe Johnson was playing with Amari Stoudemire, Steve Nash, and Sean Marion. So it's like,
who's better, him or Carmelo? Carmelo or Pierce?
As a score?
Better player.
Oh, better play. Oh, better Carmelo's too. Carmelo. But see, the only thing about
I don't know.
Carmelo. It's Carmelo.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Better player?
Maybe better score, Carmelo.
Better scorer and better rebounder.
I
don't even remember I don't remember how good of a defender Paul Pierce is. I just have a running loop of him falling forward while Joe Johnson crosses him up and hit a midi. Like
yeah.
That was the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life.
But the thing is though, like Paul Pierce played till like usually them like he was a star in the NBA, but he played until like he was like the last man on the bench. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like when he was going against Joe Johnson, he was like, was he getting any minutes? Like I don't even think he at that time was he even getting any minutes? Like he was in the game probably getting like 15 minutes a game, 10 minutes a game.
Enough minutes to get put on a mixtape.
Oh yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
He was getting enough minutes. Yeah, he was for sure getting enough minutes to get done dirty. But I got as an offensive player, I got Joe Johnson. Joe Johnson is just
let me
Joe
see
Johnson underrated.
Real quick, man.
Paul Pierce is nice though. I don't want to take nothing away from Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce is nice. And if you ask me who's a better player, I'll probably say Paul Pierce. But just offensive player.
No, with Carmelo though. Carmelo.
Oh, Carmelo, bro. It's Carmelo.
So Carmelo averaged 22.5. Paul Pierce averaged 19.7. Rebounds 6.2, 5.6. Assists. Pierce averaged 3.5 to Carmelo 2.7. I don't know, man.
It's Carmelo. I don't even think I want to say it's not close, but it's Carmelo by. It's Carmelo clear. Carmelo clears.
I don't know. It's I think it's a lot closer because Carmelo, as much as he scored, he goes into that world of like damn, like he didn't win like that. I'll say like with the Denver Nuggets.
Paul Pierce didn't win like that till they got Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen.
And Carmelo had AI. He had them talented Denver Nugget teams.
But bringing up AI on the Nuggets, bro, that is craziness. That is.
But when he first got there, he was scoring though. He was scoring.
That is flag on the play. That is flag on the. Bring it up. That's like bringing up Roger Craig on the Raiders. That's like bringing up Eric Dickerson on the Raiders. Like he had Eric Dickerson.
Hey,
like no,
he was scoring. He was still AI to a certain extent. Like he wasn't the same AI. Like he wasn't as I mean, I don't know what type of, maybe the fit wasn't there, maybe possibly, but I will say that the Denver Nuggets was a talented team. Denver Nuggets were playing the Lakers in the Western Conference Championship game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else was on that team?
Okay, Carmelo, Aaron Aflalo, Kenyon Martin. I'm trying to think of Nene.
Nene Hilario. Yeah.
Who else am I thinking about? J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith.
Was he on that team? He was on the team.
Who's the one? Who's the dude that Dante? Kobe hated his ass. He hated dude. Like
Dante.
He's like Dante
what was
Jones?
What did he play?
He play a guard. He's like a guard. He's kind of dirty.
Dante Jones, I think, was a big man.
Dante Jones.
He's a big. Dante Jones was a big man. Dante Jones was a big man.
Andre Miller wasn't. I don't know if he was on that team.
I think was Andre Miller on that team? Was he with the Clippers already? I think he might have been with the Clippers already.
Might have been on that team.
But you lost. You lost one, as soon as you said Aaron Aflalo. You
I was just naming it.
You said Aaron Aflalo. You lost. That was a. You had to bring up Aaron Aflalo and Nene Hilario. Well, I think by that time
you know what it is too. It's all about context at the end of the day, because like the way teams are set up now, you got to have a super team. I mean, I think now it's leaning towards 2 superstar led teams, like because you look at that last team that won the championship, it was old boy from OKC that won the MVP, and then there's a number 2 guy, and then a bunch of role players. But before that, every NBA team was trying to make a super team. They felt like, oh, we got to make a super team in order to win a championship. Now I think it's going to lean towards like, okay, a good 1-2 combination, superstars. That's what it was back then. It was a 1-2 combination, or it was a number 1 and then a bunch of role players, or a number 1. Maybe a solid number 2, like with Kobe and the Lakers. It was Kobe and Paul Gasol. Everybody else was role players. They're going against Denver Nuggets. It was Carmelo, probably the number 2. I'm trying to think who was the number 2 on that team. I think it was maybe JR's, and maybe that's why they lost against the Lakers.
It was a JR.
But they had a lot of like good, like they were athletic.
That's like, yo, man. Hey, she got a good personality. Don't look at her face. Listen to her talk. She got good head on her shoulders. She got a good head on her shoulders. Nah, you think about that. You think about Nene Hilario, J.R. Smith.
I gotta put
Aaron Aflalo.
This is from the top of the dome. I gotta pull up the team.
Yeah.
Denver Nugget. Versus, like what? 2009? 2009? Was it 2009? Let's pull up that team.
2009
or 2008.
So you think about that versus I got Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, Rajon Rondo, Kendrick, Rasheed Wallace, I think was on a championship team. No, he didn't get there. I think he was there a second. I think he lost. He was there 2010. I don't know if he was there 2008.
Yeah.
So, but just start right there. Already. Coached by Doc Rivers with Tom Thibodeau as an assistant coach.
Yeah, Dante Jones, shooting guard.
Shooting. I'm not thinking. Isn't there a big man named Dante Jones? DAHNTAY.
Damn. AI played for that 2009 team. Okay. Chauncey Billups. Chauncey Billups was on the team.
That was
Let me look at the 2010 team. Let me see. 53 and 29. They were first in the NBA. That was the best record in the NBA? Oh, no, they won the division. Yeah, it was J.R. Smith, Kenyon Martin, Chauncey Billups, Carmelo Anthony, Chris Anderson, Arrow Flalo.
Yeah, Birdman. Okay.
Nene.
Yeah, Birdman was. Nene Hilaire, yeah. Or I think he dropped Hilaire after he left.
That's and the thing is, so like on paper, it doesn't look, but it's just like that's how teams were built. It's like the competition. Like if you look at the Lakers compared to like some of the teams now, you'd be like, damn, the Lakers. That was the Lakers. But back then, that was like a good team.
Yeah, I mean, you got like role players are role players. Like, I mean, you're not gonna like they're not gonna be like no super household name. But what I'm saying is that you're saying that you're comparing Carmelo not having a championship or not as much playoff success when Paul Pierce had virtually no playoff success until he got Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo. I think he had Posey. James Posey was on that team, right? James Posey was on that team. We know James Posey was a dog. They had Big Baby Davis, Kendrick Perkins. But these are like all of these guys are. Did they have Tony Allen? I know Tony Allen played for Boston. I don't know if he played for that team.
But see, all right. This is okay. You can argue that not the Heat, the Celtics, not the Heat, were the start of the super team, the first super team.
Oh yeah, they definitely were.
Because
technically
they're the ones. They're the ones. KG was supposed to come to LA. Yeah. KG like when they were looking for, but I guess Kobe was like, I guess he said Kobe, like he hit up Kobe and Kobe didn't call him back or hit him back. He's like, oh okay, whatever. That same offseason.
That's not even. What it was is that the Lakers had a deal in place to get KG. And KG was on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota Timberwolves were being run by Kevin McHale. Who did Kevin McHale used to play for? The Celtics. Who was the GM of the Celtics at the time? Danny Ainge. Who did Danny Ainge used to play for? The Celtics. Who were teammates back then? Kevin McHale and Danny Ainge. So the Lakers had a better deal on the table, but Kevin McHale didn't want to send him to the Lakers. So he took a worse deal to send him to the Celtics.
I'm just saying because I've heard KG talk about like his career and like the times that he could have went to certain teams and he could have went to LA and played with Kobe, and what he said was that like during the time where he was looking to go to LA and possibly play with Kobe, he said Kobe was nowhere to be found. Like he hit him up and he didn't receive a call, but I don't know what it was, but it wasn't like he didn't feel like if you wanted him to play, if y'all wanted to play with each other, like you would think that like he would be more welcome. And he said like he called Kobe, he didn't hit him back, and then that's when that's what led to him going to the Celtics. This is what KG from the player perspective. Now from the outside looking in and like what you're saying, that makes a whole lot of sense. Kevin McHale, Danny Ainge, I get it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I feel like the Celtics were the start of the first Supers team, and after that, it was.
So the Lakers started it. Low key, the Rockets started it, but none of those other teams won championships. The Rockets started it when they got Clyde and Charles Barkley and Hakeem.
All on one team. Back then. Nah, you're taking it back. You're taking it back then. I'm talking about.
But then the Lakers did it when they got Karl Malone and Kobe and Gary Payton and Shaq all on one team, and then they went and lost to the Pistons. So, and then they didn't bring that team back together, obviously, because there was a whole bunch of strife. So they broke that team up, and then the next team to do it was the Celtics.
Yeah, but like what you're saying the next team, but we're talking about years later. You're like, nah. It started with the Celtics, and then right after the Celtics, literally
it was a year later. It was like 2 or 3 years later when the Lakers lost to the Pistons.
Was it 04, 03, 04?
Yeah, it's like a few years like that. The Celtics won in 2008. That was like a few years later.
That was the first year. It was the first year.
Yeah. So that's the first year. That's the first year they put the team together, and that's the first year they won. But I'm saying like it wasn't like no big gap between that Lakers like super team and then that Celtics super team. Like it wasn't like no wide gap. It was like They lost in like 05. I think it was like 05 they lost. And then it was like this team got put together. They won in 2008.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I felt like the Celtics doing it had a huge impact on the NBA because literally a year or two after, not one, not two, not three, LeBron James goes to the goes to the Heat. And then after that, like the rest is history. Like every team wanted to do
it was different with the Celtics because they were still all relatively close to either in their prime or close to their prime. Like the Lakers, only people in their prime was really Kobe. Shaq was kind of on the decline, partly because of his own, not taking care of his body. Karl Malone was obviously on the decline, and so was Gary Payton. So it was like none of those guys are really in their prime outside of Kobe. With the Celtics, all three of those guys were essentially in their prime.
Yeah, man. We appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Brim said for a long time, Melo was clowned for not having no playoff experience. Nah, Melo had playoff experience. He just didn't. It just never amounted to anything. Not a whole lot of success. Yeah, and then in like after the Denver Nuggets, like it was like almost done. Like he went to New York.
But that's like, but you can't hold that against him though, because like who you better as a player, T-Mac or Paul Pierce?
T-Mac.
See, so it's like the playoff success ain't the end all be all.
It's not the end all be all, but when it's close, it's like damn. Like when you're talking about like okay, Kobe and
I don't think
T-Mac,
it's close between Carmelo and Paul Pierce.
Yeah, but I never said that it was close with Paul
between
Pierce
Carmelo and
T-Mac.
Paul Pierce. I mean, I don't think it's close between Carmelo and Paul Pierce.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't think it's close between them. I think it's. I
don't know, man. I think that you can argue that Paul Pierce is a better defender. You could argue that he was more well-rounded player than Carmelo Anthony, who all he did was like score. Like he was a scorer, but like
he was a great rebounder too.
He was a good rebounder. A great rebounder is doing too much.
He was great. He was a great rebounder for his position.
He was 6'8", 6'9". He averaged what 5 point something. Was 5 to 6 rebounds. That's not good. Like that's not like crazy. Like if he had like 7 and up for his size would have been like okay, we're getting somewhere here.
He was like the primary ball handler though. So he's the guy that took like
man.
when
now
you
making excuses, bro. Come on, man.
No, but when you take that amount of shots, I mean, you're not going to like this doesn't offer you a lot of opportunities for rebounding.
Yeah.
I think there was a year. I think there was a year. I want to say there was a year. I think there's a year he led the league in 20-point double-doubles. Carmelo. I could be wrong.
20-point double-doubles? Okay, so I'll try to look at a season where he averaged.
Look that up. I think there was a year he led the league
like LeBron technically almost the same size. They're like or listed the same size at 6'8". LeBron is a great rebounder.
Yeah. LeBron is a much better athlete though than the both of them, which is conducive to rebounding.
Yeah. So he averaged 6 rebounds a game, which is not bad, but it's like you said great.
You said LeBron's a great rebounder, right? You said he averaged 6. You said Carmelo averages 5.7.
Okay,
he's not a great rebounder.
So he had seasons where he had like 7 rebounds, like 07.
So Carmelo.
Oh damn!
That's what I'm saying.
He averaged 8 with the Knicks.
That's what I'm saying. His career average is dragged down by his years in Portland, because if his rookie year 8.3, then the next year, no, never mind, it's playoffs. Scratch that. Let me go back. So 6.1, 5.7, 6, 5, 6, 7, 6.8, 6.6, 7.6, 6.7. Yeah. So he's like those Portland years. And then when
he was good. He was a good rebounder. Yeah, he was a good rebounder. I don't know. It just felt like he was just his game was kind of like It wasn't well rounded as far as like he wasn't the same player on the defensive side of the defensive side of the basketball court.
Yep. Probably he wasn't no defender, but
I'm not even saying, I'm not saying that like, oh, you as the primary scorer has to be the guarding the best player on the other team. Like, all I'm saying is just play defense.
Yeah.
And like that was like a weakness in Carmelo's game. Like, he can't play defense. I would say Pierce got him the edge on that. Score, I'll give Carmelo the edge, obviously. But oh damn. Oh, never mind. Yeah, scored. Whew. Yeah, he had some seasons where he averaged some points.
Who, Carmelo?
Yeah, like 28, 29.
Yeah.
Damn it. Especially too, I'll say this to like, and this is for a lot of players from back in the day, like if they played in today's like wide open type of, like they would have scored way more points. You know what I mean? Like
yes and no. You think about like the athlete's a different level athlete too, so. And the game is like the defenses are different, like.
But you could shoot more. You could shoot more.
Part of the reason you can shoot more is because there's more illegal defense. Back in the day, they had illegal defense. Now they eliminated illegal defense. So now it's like the 3-second rule. So that's why, like back then, you couldn't play zone. Now you can play zone because there's no more illegal defense.
Yeah.
So zones make you shoot, basically. they essentially.
Yeah, but it's not, I'm not even talking about you. You're talking about the defense, yeah. But I'm also talking about like the way offenses are choosing to run their offense. Like the way they're trying to run their offense is it's a lot more faster pace, a lot more threes been taken. Like they're encouraging you to play at a faster pace. If you play at a faster pace, it's going to be more shots put up.
Yeah. But I'm saying part of the reason why it's like that is because long shot, long rebounds. That's part of the reason. So that's part of the reason why pace, and because since teams have the ability to play zone, then the goal is to try to get transition buckets before teams are allowed to set up their defense. So that's why you try to get you try to get points in transition before they're allowed to set that zone, because then they pack the paint and it makes it much harder for you to score. And then you have to, run your set or, try to get an open three. And then, so that's why that's part. So it's like all this stuff it feeds into each other. So that's why it's like people say this stuff, but it's like, well, it's like this for this reason. But they don't never look at the reason why it's this way. They only look at, it is this. Well, if those guys were playing with the other rules, then they would just get to the rack all day. Like they would just get to the rack at will, basically, because there's no zone defenses. So everybody has to guard a man. So that leaves all that space open for them to just get to the rack at will. And then what happens, right? So that's why it's like it's a different game.
No, it's definitely a different game. If you haven't already, make sure to click and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We went on a tangent with the basketball and comparisons. Obviously, we were fans of other sports, so we just had to go a little back and forth. You know what I mean? But we appreciate everybody coming through. Real quick, man, let's get to the notable quotables and get through it, and then we're gonna wrap it up. The first notable quotable. You want to give the intro to it, Severe?
Yes, sir. So, notable quotable number 1. Let's see what we got right here. Oh, yes. So, as we all know, recently, Tom Brady, minority stake in the Raiders, followed by a few other people, also buying minority stake in the Raiders as well. And there is another Bostonian or New Englander that has expressed some interest in buying a stake in the Raiders, and it's the very own Marky Mark. He's recently speaking at the complex. They're doing something. He had Tom Brady right there, and he made some very interesting comments.
Here we go. You hear it?
Negative.
We're going to end up, it's crazy because we're going to end up, and I know people are going to give me a lot of shit for this, but I live in Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah. Tom's got a piece of the Raiders. A lot of my friends just got a piece of the Raiders. I went to 6 Raiders home games last year. Yeah. I didn't make it to any New England games because I live far away. I started driving, my golf cart just got painted black. Well, I didn't even know it. No.
Oh, no, he did it on purpose.
Painted black.
I love it.
At least they put the municipal logos instead of the Raider logo. But listen, could easily find me being, I'm on the home team. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's interesting. I mean, do you think Tom Brady puts in the word and gives him the hometown discount?
Nah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I think Mark Wahlberg is seeing the opportunity here. He's trying to see if he can get in where he fits in. Yeah, man. I don't know about this. What kind of chess move would it be to get Mark Wahlberg? I mean, he would have to team up with a few other people. Because I feel like with Tom Brady, it was very strategic. You know what I mean? Like, you get the football, knowledge and the great, Tom Brady's a great player in his own right. Obviously he's going to bring in his reputation and he's all that good stuff. And then with some of the other owners, you've talked about it on the show.
The real estate developer and the guy that had the connection to the sports agency. So it was strategic. Mark Wahlberg offers absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
It sounds like it should be flag on the play, man.
Absolutely nothing. So yeah, I'm good on Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
And I think somebody brought up the holy trinity of Bostonians, and they did not include Matt Damon in that holy trinity. Alfredo, shame on you, Alfredo. Matt Damon has to be involved.
Yeah, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, and who's the other one? Mark. We put a Mark in there.
It would be I'm putting Mark up there. Tom Brady ain't from Boston either, so I guess it would be Mark.
Tom Brady's from what? He's from like
he's from
I think he's from
North Cal.
I think he's like from
North Cal,
San Mateo or something like that. San Mateo, one of them.
I think he is from San Mateo.
Yeah,
he's from San Mateo.
Something like
and
that.
Paul Pierce was born in Oakland, by the way.
No, he was. Oh, he wasn't born.
He was born in Oakland, Paul Pierce.
No, he was, but he grew up
in Oakland.
He grew up in LA.
They said he moved.
So a lot of Pierce was a lot of who he is LA.
Look,
it's just LA.
Hey. His roots, as somebody told me, is look, his roots are in Oakland.
That's funny, man. That's funny, man. We appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in. Let's get to the next one.
I can't throw him on nobody else. That is definitely our doing, unfortunately.
Let's go to the next notable quote, man. Severe, man. What's the next one we got?
So next one is, obviously we all were talking about Tom Brady, Pete Carroll. One of the chief things they had to do when they get here was identify a quarterback. And they initially we saw was Matthew Stafford. But very quickly after that, they moved right on to Gino Smith. And I know some people kind of were underwhelmed with the acquisition of Gino Smith, but if you look at people who are the film people and people who are the analytics people, they all are on one accord, and they all think Gino Smith is a highly underrated quarterback. And I know we don't always love PFF, but the PFF guys, they were doing a deep dive into Gino Smith, talking about him as a quarterback, and they had some very interesting statistics that could potentially show the kind of team that we're going to be next year.
Smith's been really darn good for 3 years ever since he took over with the Seahawks. 8th best passing grade in football. That'll certainly do. 9th most accurate quarterback, 7th in adjusted completion rate. And these last two, these are the fun ones that I want to get into today. The 2nd most big-time throws in the NFL over the last 3 years, only behind Josh Allen, who's like 30 or 40 ahead of everybody else. Josh Allen's in his own category, and a perfect 99.9 deep passing grade on 20-plus yard targets, okay? Wow. I want to expand on that last one a little bit because I think that's the big element that was missing from this Raiders offense the last couple of years. Again, perfect deep passing grade. Most accurate passer in the league, according to our quarterback charting, on 20-plus yard throws. Highest big-time throw rate, 35% of it. That's 35% of his deep balls. We were tracking his big-time throws, and 6 in adjusted completion percentage. Look, he was making all of the throws downfield. Gino Smith's been really darn good for 3 years ever since he took over with the Seahawks. 8th best passing grade in football. That'll certainly do.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, when you look at the fact that he was #1 in deep passing, like you start thinking about like the pieces that they're getting on offense.
Exactly.
It's like, okay, guys that can win deep. A guy like Trey Tucker, there's a rhyme to my reason when I picked him as a breakout candidate, because I'm like, it's his 3rd year. He's seasoned at this point. He should be ready to break out. Then you got a Chip Kelly, who we're kind of like cautiously optimistic that we might be seeing a pretty good offensive system, and he'll be able to utilize a skill set in a guy like Trey Tucker. And what have we been hearing about in some of these mini camps? Trey Tucker on the outside, Dante Thornton on the outside, Jacoby Myers mostly on the inside. Brock Bowers obviously is going to be where he's at, in the slot, and they're going to move him around to get him great matchups. And all I'm thinking about, like when I think about his deep ball accuracy, I'm thinking about Dante Thornton, deep post.
Yeah.
Like, man, I don't know, man.
Brock, another one, especially Brock matched up 1-on-1 against a linebacker or a safety.
Yeah. No, facts, because one of the biggest plays in the season was one of like the luckiest plays of the season. Last season was when against Denver. He just threw it up there, and obviously Brock Bowers was able to go up and go get it. He made a play, but man, like now you give Brock Bowers an accurate quarterback that can give him the ball in stride, where now we'll be able to see maybe more of Brock Bowers' yak ability, because that's all we've been hearing about, like Brock Bowers after the catch, his ability to break tackles. We might be able to see that more because a guy's going to be more, the quarterback's going to be more accurate. He's going to hit him on stride. So I'm hoping, I'm cautiously optimistic about the whole Raiders team. Gino, I'm not going to act like Gino is like the best quarterback in the NFL.
Nah.
But I can see how everything can fit and work, if that makes sense. Like, all right, Genty, okay, they're going to run the football. Makes sense. Yeah. Oh, okay, play action. Who you going Brock Bowers. Oh, Michael Mayer. Okay. I can see the pieces coming together on offense. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I like what the Raiders have. I like the pieces the Raiders have on offense. You can argue like, oh man, they don't have a number one receiver. They don't have to right now. They got pieces where they got the pieces where they can do it without a number one receiver for now. If that makes sense. Because everybody kind of complements each other.
Yeah. And then, as our boy Jamar Chase was kind of saying, the number one receiver in Kansas City for the past, since Tyreek left, has been Travis Kelce. So, you can build your offense around tight end as long as you have some good complementary weapons like they have in Rice. We have here in Jacoby, and we're hoping Thornton turns into that as well. You can build an offense around that. And there was another stat I was looking at when they were saying, I think last year or maybe I don't know if it was last year or over the past 3 years he's been in Seattle, but Gino Smith had like the highest passer rating when targeting tight ends. So Like he's very proficient when he's targeting the tight end position. So, if he can extrapolate that over a larger sample size, and we have two very competent tight ends, one elite tight end, one tight end we think is going to be a pretty good player as well. So you got that combination there, and then you got a guy like Jacoby. You got a guy like Jack Besh who you can use as a pseudo tight end, use in the slot, move around. Then that offers you a whole bunch of artillery in that intermediate part of the field. And obviously we have Dante Thornton, and we're expecting, I guess, Trey Tucker to be those guys on the outside. I'm feeling Trey Tucker gonna end up looking like Paul Pierce versus Joe Johnson. So we'll see.
Nah, man, I'm not gonna act like it's a perfect situation at wide receiver. I mean, yeah, but I just think that like what is Trey Tucker's skill set, and have the Raiders maximize that skill set?
Dropping pass.
I know.
I know. Yeah, that's not facts. I know facts. I think I think if you get, like you said, if you get a quarterback, you put him in a better role with a quarterback that is more accurate, that will be better able to take advantage of his speed on the outside. I think he can turn into a third or fourth string receiver in the NFL, man. I think he could be that.
Oh man.
I mean, Gino compliments him well, and I think, like you said, that just the threat of Genty, you're hoping that they'll have a safety peeking in the backfield, and that'll allow Trey Tucker to get open. And at that point, it's just, can we protect Gino long enough to deliver a pass, and will Trey Tucker catch the ball? We're hoping that's improved. He wasn't terrible, but it left something to be desired last year.
I mean, like, you got a speedy receiver who his strength is getting open deep, and the quarterbacks that the Raiders put out there, none of their strengths are throwing the ball deep.
Yeah.
Aiden O'Connell, no. You got, Gardner Minshew, who showed that he can do it, I guess, do it better than Aiden O'Connell. But his accuracy comes and goes. Yeah, his accuracy comes and goes. Like, it doesn't matter if he's throwing it deep or not. Like, his accuracy comes and goes. And he doesn't really have the greatest arm either. So it's just like, all right. And now you a quarterback who's obviously way better than both those quarterbacks. And even a Garoppolo. We're forgetting about him. Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Like, what was he doing out there? Like, he could barely get the ball to Devontae Adams. Like,
yeah.
It is what it is. Look, I want to see what it looks like. I want to see what I think the biggest thing I'm excited about is I'm intrigued about is Chip Kelly. That's the biggest thing that I'm intrigued about is Chip Kelly and what the offense is going to look like. Thorny here is a who. The Raider says if he can keep his mind right, I think Mayer can be a real dark horse this year. I think Mayer was your breakout candidate.
Yeah.
That goes back to Chip Kelly, because Chip Kelly is going to be he's going to have to develop an offense that's creative enough. I think, man, shout out to Big Mike. I remember one of the things he said was like, this is last year, going into last year's season. Do we have an offensive coordinator that's creative enough to, use the players that we have on offense?
Yeah.
And in this case, we have two tight ends that are talented that can probably start on some teams. I mean, Brock Bowers obviously can start with damn near every NFL team.
Every team. He can start every team.
Mayer is
he can start with a lot of them.
He can start on some teams. Yeah, he can start with some teams. We believe that he can. Have we seen that he's the talent to do? Like, we got to see it happen. But talent wise, we know that it's there. We just got to see it just come out as far as him being productive. So we'll see what it looks like next year. Man, we appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in. At this point, clock out. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We do have, you know what? We might as well, you know what? I think we should just. We've been on for a little bit, man. We appreciate everybody coming through, man. We usually we do what's real, what's not, but we've been at it. We've been chopping it up, man. We appreciate everybody coming through. At this point, clock out. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Man, Allegiance, man, you on one right now.
Get back to work, Loon. You're supposed to be working right now, bro.
Severe, man. Let the people know where they can find you, what to look forward to, all that good stuff.
You know what it is, man. The Severe Raider here on YouTube, IG, Snapchat, TikTok, X, all that good stuff. I'll let your boy, man. The 50-50 show every Tuesday night, the world famous 50-50 show, obviously around the shield on Thursdays. I'm going to be getting back in tune with my guys, 805 and Chris, sometime this week. If now we're trying to figure out a day this week for sure on Sunday, but most likely another time this week as well. But we'll be going back to our regularly scheduled programming next Tuesday with the Raider Roar Room. So be on the lookout for that.
There you go, man. Yeah, man. Like Severe said, we'll be back at it next Tuesday for the 50-50 show. But this week, the next time you can catch us will be around the Shield. During the season, last season was a Friday show. This off season, it's been every Thursday, been a live show. I mean, we had some times where we had to take some weeks off, but hey, we back at it. We're having guests. We're trying to have guests every show on Around the Shield. So let us know in the comments. Let us know who you want us to have on, and we'll try our best to get them on. And yeah, we'll make it happen. So this Thursday, Around the Shield will be a live show. Hopefully, we'll have a guest for you, and we'll have a good conversation. Last show was good, man.
Sir.
Well, Mike and Rundown, man, it was a good conversation. We've had other good guests as well that come through, and it was also a good show. So definitely tune in. Make sure to follow us all over social media. The Severe Raider, obviously myself, PharoahNFL, and then Around the Shield too, all over social media, including X and IG. And yeah, man, we appreciate everybody coming through, man. It's been a great show. On the way out, man, clock out, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Severe, many last thoughts before we head out, man.
Now, man, shout out to my guys. Yeah. Shout out to Sacktown Raider Mike, man. Two of the guys that's consistently showing up, man, always supporting the channel. Shout out to everybody in the chat that's consistently supporting, man. I know it's either super early or super late, depending on where you at right now, man. So appreciate everybody. Except for Yaya. Yaya might be in a different time zone. He probably
man.
He's probably like 4 p.m. where he's at. So he probably cooling.
Hey, man, that's why we appreciate the night crew clocking in and clocking out, man. We appreciate y'all coming through and clocking in and supporting the show, man. So we appreciate y'all. But hey, man, we out of here, man. We'll see y'all next Thursday or this Thursday. Peace.
Just win, baby.
Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.